Good morning, traders, and welcome to the smoothest live stream on the entire internet. My name is Lou Smooth. You guys can call me Smooth. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we're going to be taking a look at the Nasdaq here. See what's happening. We didn't get really much movement overnight. It was kind of quiet, not really much going on here, except for this 1,000 point pump that we have here. I'm not sure if it was 1,000, but it was pretty close. It was pretty close, guys. Pretty close. We got a huge gap up first. First of all, we got a huge gap. Got to measure how much we actually made it up, about 850 points. That's pretty insane. So now we're dealing with a huge gap, and then we're dealing with this huge, what my fellow ICT traders would call a huge fair value gap. I would call it imbalances in here, but it doesn't matter. We just want to see what the price may do. And we'll see what the price may want to do here. And we'll label out some levels here. See if we can find something to trade today. Maybe we can make a couple of DAW hairs. All right, let's see if we can find our overnight high or overnight low. I think I'm on the wrong. Am I on the wrong chart? No, I'm on the right chart. No, I'm on the wrong chart. I'm on the wrong chart, guys. I'm on the wrong chart. All right, let's go here. This is better. Okay. All right, yeah, much better. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, baby. All right, so we got ourselves a new little range. Let's go ahead and focus on this range. Let's see what we have here. Okay, we got a new range. All right, cool. Let me clean up a couple things here on the chart. I don't think we need so many levels now. We've kind of blasted through these levels. Big time. Big time, big time. Yeah, I don't even think this is necessary anymore. Yeah, so much has happened here. Maybe this can help us a bit. This maybe. Yeah, it looks like it helped. Look at that. Helped a little bit. Good morning, Mo. Good morning, Motivation. Hope you guys are feeling well. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope you guys spent some time with the wife or the mother in your lives, whether it's your mother or your wife. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Let's go ahead and clean some of this up here. This might still carry something here. Maybe this might carry some weight. All right, let's take a look at the overnight high, which we're still kind of forming. Probably still forming. Move that up just a bit there. Let's take a look at our overnight low, if we can find it. I don't even know if we have an overnight low set here anywhere. Guess not. I guess not. Okay. All right. Well, we'll label one now. So overnight low is basically where the daily. Oh, I think that's why. I think we had we didn't need to last time. Our overnight low is right here by the daily open, which is very bullish, by the way. We do have news, so we'll go over that news in just a second here. We do have some potential news that I think China has lowered their tariffs, and then we have lowered Chinese tariffs. So that's interesting. Looks like we might work ourselves into a deal. This market, man, we might be making some new all-time highs this week. We could be making some new all-time highs, which would be pretty crazy. All right, we have an overnight high there. We have our, man, look at Friday's close all the way here, 140 at 138, 140. And right now we're trading at almost 21,000. So be careful. Just like 20,000 was a psychological level, 21,000 is going to be just as psychological. Let's go ahead and mark that out now. These big 1,000, areas are definitely gonna mean something. So we gotta be careful there. 21K. Psychological level, be careful there. It's right around the overnight high. We got rejected from that. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, we're there. 21K is right above it. We put in a little bit of profile here, a volume profile, to see where our value area high and value area low are, see where our point of control is. So we'll keep this on the screen for a little while, and we'll see if we can find ourselves some good entries in here. We got about 3 minutes before the open. Not sure if we're gonna find something before then, but we're definitely gonna keep our eyes open here. All right, so today we'll be trading our 50K eval with Tradeify. If you guys are interested in Tradeify, there is a discount currently with the coupon code SmoothTrader. I love the 50K growth. If you don't want that trailing drawdown, it's end of day drawdown. I like it a lot better. And there is no activation fee. So whatever you pay, whether it's 80 bucks, 90 bucks, whatever you end up paying for it, you don't have to pay for the activation fee afterwards. So that's a win-win. All right, so it looks like everything across the board is pretty bullish. We've got the Russell, the ES, and YM all kind of trading higher. Russell just dropped pretty significant here in the last 1 minute. Let's take a quick look at Bitcoin and gold. Bitcoin has now pumped all the way up to 104, almost 106,000, 105,800, and gold is gold gap down and it's still continuing to drop. We have gold right now trading at 3,200 almost. So let's keep our eyes on that. For all you gold traders out there, hopefully you guys are in the right side of those trades. BTC is kind of just going sideways at the moment, and yeah, we'll just focus on the NQ for now. Good luck, guys. Good luck. The market will be open in less than 1 minute. Use your best A+ setups today, guys. Because a day like this, everyone's expecting nothing but bullish moves, and anything can happen, so be careful. All right, be very careful. 2 minute, 3 minute. All right, cool. We got a 6 minute. I'm just straightening out my charts, guys. Give me a sec. Wow. The pumpage is real. I got to move my charts a lot. All right, there we go with the drop on the open. Like I said, be careful, guys. Okay. Very contentious area where we're at right now. And yeah. All right, we're getting bears absorbing a lot of buy pressure here, as you guys can see. All right. We could get a drop here. First move here could be to the downside. Then maybe we see a move higher later. Just straightening out my charts. For some reason, we had a storm last night, so I think the electricity went out overnight. So I got to reset all my charts, which is not the most fun thing to do. It's so annoying. I don't know why these charts don't have memory. I wish charts had memory. Can charts have memory? I wish they would have memory. All right, cool. I think we're pretty much all set now. We have our charts the way we want them. And we've dropped significantly here on the open. Pretty significantly here, okay. A little unexpected, I would say. For me, at least. Maybe you guys had the right idea here on the open. All right, all right. Mario MG, afternoon, buddy. Afternoon, good people. Where are you, Mario MG? What part of the world are you in? Mo, how was Mrs. Lester's weekend, man? Did you take her out, show her a good time for Mother's Day? Man, the coffee's extra good today, man. The coffee's really good today. I know I am sitting right now, guys. I got a little bit of a late start, or we'll be walking in a little while. I just wanted to get on here. We have garbage pickup today, and I cut down a whole bunch of branches off the palm tree in front of the house, a whole bunch with my dad yesterday. So we had a lot, and I didn't know that the garbage pickup today was going to be picking up yard waste. So this morning after waking up, I realized it because I saw the neighbors had their yard waste out, and I'm like, oh man, we got to bundle this stuff up. So I did that real quick this morning with my dad. Kind of set me back a little bit, but we're here. That's all that's important. We're here. Yeah, my dad's 86. 86? Is he 86? 87? 86? Yeah, my dad's 86, and this man does not stop working, man. He is always doing something in the garden and doing something outdoors. He climbed a ladder yesterday, an extension ladder, and was chopping down branches off the palm tree with a machete. Straight savage. He grew up in the banana fields when he was a kid. He left his house at 12 years old, and he went out to live on his own at 12 years old. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys have 12-year-old kids or had 12-year-old kids. Imagine your 12-year-old moving out of the house at that age. My dad's been on his own working since he's been 12 years old. They don't make men like this anymore. I'm telling you, my father was such a great role model for me. Amazing role model for me and my brothers. Unbelievable work ethic, and they just built different. How's your father, guys? Agave, really? Oh man, there's a restaurant in New Jersey called Agave. And the food there was delicious, man. So yeah, I know the part of Portugal you're talking about. So in the part of New Jersey that I grew up in, there's a lot of Portuguese people. So I was raised with all Portuguese people. I went to Portuguese school when I was little, basically, and I had a lot of Portuguese friends. So they taught me a lot of Portuguese curse words, which I'm not going to repeat here. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. I played soccer with Portuguese people. Oh yeah, that's awesome, Mario. Mario, with a name like Mario, are you Italian or are you Portuguese? Eu falo português também, but I'm more like Portuguese. I mean, more like Brazilian Portuguese. Brasileiro. Brasileiro. Falo português brasileiro. Portuguese, huh? Super clean water. Yeah, I'd love to visit one day. I heard it's beautiful. All right, we're getting a push here. Getting a push to the downside. My daughters are half Brazilian, so I learned Portuguese with them. Oh man, we're getting a strong push. Really strong push. Give me a second, guys. I think the garbage people are here. No, false call. False alarm. We're right at the VWAP. We're getting close to that VWAP now. And this is a no trade zone for me unless I see something that's too good to pass up. Yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can open up our Bulenox too. I want to start taking some trades on Bulenox today too on our funded. Once we see a good opportunity. 2, 3, 9, 4, 2, 100. Okay. Awesome. All right. Let's go see if we can do something here. Very good. Very, very good. All right, let's see if we can push this up to NQ. I think we're going to do NQ. Oh, maybe we'll stick to MNQ. Yeah, we'll do MNQ and just see if we can trade a larger size. All right, we're getting a potential move to the upside here with this candle, and then you see that bears are taking over. They're still pushing this price down. It'd be nice to see a move down here. Okay. We got a mixed bag here. We got the absorption by the bulls, followed by absorption by the bears here. So they're going to fight this thing out. But like I said, this area here, close to the VWAP, this is a no trade zone for me. I don't like trading this close to the VWAP just because you get a lot of mixed signals and you get a lot of inconsistent prices. But right now it looks like the bears are still in control here. They're pushing this down pretty hard. And the only trades I would take near the VWAP would be trades into the VWAP. But even here, we could get a nasty little pop here. What I'd like to do is possibly put in a limit order trade up here where we could get a pop before tapping the VWAP. Or actually, I'm not, because we can actually get a pop all the way up here. And I wouldn't like that if we get a pop that nasty. All right, so we have about 10 or 11 minutes in, or 8 minutes in. I thought we almost had the 15-minute. Not yet, huh? Not yet. All right, looks like we might get a pop right here into a drop here into the VWAP. Yeah, they are. They're dropping it. Watch for this push through the VWAP. Next level under VWAP. Let's take a quick look at our higher time frames here real quick. Yeah, we have we could be putting in a Bart Simpson here. The Bart Simpson Calabunga dude right here with another swift move down, straight down. You got to be careful with that. There really is no area where it has to stop. I'd be interested in possibly taking something that looks like that. I'm going to watch this area here for maybe a liquidity sweep before a drop. I don't know why it's turned off on me. There we go. What's our ATR right now? Our ATR is hovering at 20 on the 1 minute. That's pretty high. That's pretty high. Yeah, I'd like to see a drop. Obviously, I'd like to see a pop into here, possibly sweeping the liquidity. Then it would make for a nice little short. We'll see. Bears are pressing because of the huge gap, and they expect that gap to get filled. Well, that would be a huge drop if we did fill that gap. Thanks for the likes, guys. Appreciate it. Early morning likes. We get the 75 likes today. We'll be doing a 50K eval giveaway. Last night we gave away 2. We hit 75, and then we hit 150. We got 150 likes. That's the most likes we've ever gotten on one stream. Incredible. We had the most amount of views last night too. I think we had almost 1,800 views, 1,700 and change. That was an awesome stream, man. And we also give praise to the Lord yesterday. We prayed for people, and it was amazing, man. It was a great time, man. There was a lot of people here who just enjoyed the environment. It was beautiful, and we made some money. I think we ended up making about $200 on our eval last night. So we spent a good time, built the community, and we made a couple bucks on our eval. Look at that. Yeah, well, not about everyone, but yeah, we did get a record amount of likes last night. So I made a I made a promise that if we got to 150 likes, we'd do a second eval giveaway, and we did. We gave away 2 last night. Congratulations to our winners last night. I don't know if the second winner messaged me yet. Let me take a quick look. I know the first one I took care of. The second one sent me the friend request. Yeah, Brett Simba just messaged me. Brett Simba. Yeah, I think Brett Simba wants to holler at me. That's hilarious. Oh man, too funny. People are such scammers. Not that Brett Simba's a scammer, but what I'm saying is someone's impersonating Brett Simba and thinks that I'm gonna fall for it. It's too funny. Yeah, Brett Simba, by the way, guys, is the CEO of Tradeify. I doubt he's reaching out to me to see, hey, what's up? How's your trading doing? Would you like any help in trading? I'm pretty sure that's not the case. All right, looks like we might get this push here through the VWAP. It's very likely. I wanted to see a possible tap into this area, but we're not seeing it. We are pushing through hard here. Looks like the bears might be taking over this. Very nice move. Very nice move. All right, I want to see if we get a. We'll see if we get any chop in here, because I want to avoid the chop. I don't want to take trades too close to this VWAP here, because they tend to do a lot of chopping. Going right into the VWAP first thing in the morning is not necessarily the best thing. Congrats to anybody who wrote this short down. All right. Let's see. Let's take out the news. I know we had some news overnight. Basically, it was just the tariff talks. I don't think there's anything kind of like anything after that. Let me see if I can find anything on Forex Factory. Let's see. U.S. Treasury Secretary Bassett says it's impossible. It's implausible tariffs on China go below 10%. What's implausible? Impossible. Hey Siri, what does impossible mean? Impossible means not able to occur, exist, or be done. Thanks. Not impossible. Implausible. Unless somebody spelled this wrong. Implausible means not seeming reasonable or probable, failing to convince. So he said it's not implausible. I think he might have said it's not implausible, right? It's implausible. I don't know, man. This is confusing. What the heck is this guy talking about? You guys tell me. It's implausible tariffs on China go below 10%. But I just looked up the definition of implausible. And check it out what it means. Implausible means of an argument or statement not seeming reasonable or probable, failing to convince. This is a blatantly implausible claim. I don't know. It's weird. Very weird. Well, either way, we just play the market. Playing the news will get you in trouble. Let's play the market instead of the news. Trading for pips. What's up, man? This is an anchored VWAP from open late last night at NQ. Nice, man. What he's trying to say is never gonna happen. That's what I thought, but why is the market pumping? That's what I was trying to make sense of. I was like, how does that make any sense? I mean, the market's doing really well. Unless that was just fake to drop it today. Maybe they got to move straight down today. I thought they were coming to some kind of accord. I heard last night on a YouTube channel that I follow for stock market news that they had come to some kind of an agreement. I guess not. I guess that's not the case. I guess that's not the case. That's what I was thinking. Take a quick look at the volatility and see what's happening there. Volatility has fallen below 20 on the futures volatility. VOLX. Very interesting. Getting a lot of bearish moves here, as you can see. All right, we might be looking at chopping his VWAP for a while here, so let's be careful. We have lost this level here. Our value area low has been lost. The value area low now lies here at 20,820. Watch the continuation to the downside here possible. Good morning, Sam B. How's it going, brother? That's what I thought, man. It's hard to negotiate. I think, to be honest with you, I think Trump might have met his match when it comes to negotiating, man. The Chinese people are tough negotiators. You could tell just by looking at them. I mean, look at the Chinese people when they play poker. Man, those people are like stone-faced. Like, you don't know what they're talking about. You don't know if they got a good hand, a bad hand. You don't know if they got indigestion. You just don't know. I think Trump might have met his match, man. I really do. What's up, Kamatsu? Wall Street might just view this as a bit of Machiavellian brilliance? Maybe. What does that mean? Down 238. Hopefully it'll be green day. It will be, Sam B. Just take the highest probable trades, man. The thing is, you don't have to take a trade, dude. That's the only thing we can control is when we press the button. It's like, for me, I'm trying to stay away from this area right now and not trade The VWAP. The VWAP is a very hard place to figure out a direction at. The best trades are always when you're in a high standard deviations and you trade back into the VWAP. Those are the best ones. Right now, it looks like they do want to create some kind of a base here to the upside. We have bullish absorption. Bullish absorption. This looks bullish. ATRs are kind of high this morning, so be careful. We have a 20 on the 1 minute. That's higher than the last few days that we've been seeing trading. Today should be a good volume day, though, because we've gotten so much interest in the markets. I think we should have a solid volume day. Very solid volume day. I think so. We definitely have an expansion candle on the daily, that's for sure. Let's take a quick look at that daily. Look at that daily chart. Yeah, we have a gap up with a huge candle. Or it was a huge candle. Now it's starting to have a little bit of a wick on it. But either way, it's still very bullish. We swept the liquidity from here, major liquidity level. Next target on the daily would be all-time highs, to be honest. Right, those are all-time highs, right? 22.4. I think that those might be all-time highs. I'm not 100% sure. If not, we're very close to it. Let me move that major liquidity up now. There we go, major liquidity there. Does anyone know how to get the chart to stop squeezing your chart every time you change time frames? How to not like compress it the way it does? Anybody know how to not have it do that? I think it has something to do with scales and lines, maybe. Maybe something here. Lock price bar ratio, maybe. Does anybody know? I hate when it does that. When you switch time frames or switch assets and then it compresses your chart. Looks like they want to move it higher. This is a manipulation candle in my opinion. They're probably going to try to move this higher. Maybe to the PLC. Right here to 900. Yeah, I'm going to wait till when it looks the most bearish here. Might be taking a long here soon. Dow is not reaching as well. Reacting as well. I think this is building up for another step down. Yeah, perhaps. Hey, Sambi, you know what? You can ask Grok if anyone else is having the same issue as you, and you might be able to find something through Grok as far as a workaround or as far as like a solution. Man, I'm telling you, I ask Grok anything, and I learned so much, man. It's unbelievable how much you can get from AI. I feel like I could fix anything. What's up, blessed one? Thank you for joining us. Looking for a short at break of orb? Yeah. Yeah, where is your orb right now? Orb would be down here, huh? This is the bottom of the orb. That could make sense. To be honest with you, I'm actually thinking they might actually bring this price even higher. I think they might bring it higher. The reason why is because this candle here is a manipulation candle. And I feel like they want to bring it higher, but they want to scare people first here into going short. We could get a tap back higher in here, I'm thinking. It's very possible. I'm going to wait to see if I see a bullish indication, but so far it looks like they might be trying to do that. I could be wrong. Obviously, they could be pushing this thing down to the next leg, maybe down to 700. 700 is the next psychological level. When you don't have any real levels, the psychological levels are that much more important. Thanks, Cosmos. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I think you guys have taught me so much, man, when it comes to these charts. What's up, Easy Does It? Good morning. Thanks for joining us, man, for a Monday session. Monday session. All right, it's almost 10 o'clock, guys. Almost 10 o'clock. That's crazy. Unbelievable. How is it possible that we are, our gross P&L is $2.95, but our total P&L is $7? Maybe I need to refresh. That's very strange. Very weird. Okay. I think it's counting the trades from last night, but it's not counting our P&L correctly. It's very weird. Okay. Welcome, Jonathan. Welcome to the channel. 7 a.m. here. Where are you? Easy Does It. Is it possible you can put your microphone up again? Yeah, I have volume up at 100. No problem, buddy. Oh, you know what? My computer did restart, so maybe the audio adjusted on its own. My fault. And I talk low, too, as it is. System settings. Sound. Microphone input is all the way up. Okay, so I can't do anything. I'm just going to talk a little louder and have the microphone a little closer to me. So that'll help you out, brother. Hopefully it does. Hopefully it does. All right, I'd like to see a possible support in here, or maybe a possible quick sweep. I think we move back higher. It's just me thinking outside the box here a little bit. Oregon? Wow. Yeah, it's early there. Yeah, on my computer, volume is so low. Trading for pips? Okay. How about now, guys? Is it better? Because I have maxed out on everything here. I'm going to unplug it and plug it back in, okay? Okay. All right, how about now? Can you guys hear me? Are we back? Yeah? Okay. All right, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3. Is that better, guys? Any good? Much better? All right. Maybe that's all we needed to do. All right, we might get a pop here to the upside. Might get a pop here. Let's see what's going on. This area is going to be funky. It's going to be funky because we are at VWAP. No worries. Oh, good, good, good. Yeah, maybe I just needed to unplug this microphone and plug it back in. Usually that does wonders. All right, I'm going to try the long here, guys. All right, so we got it on 820. 820. Self 5. All right, cool. We took that long here. Hopefully you guys can see this on our Tradeify. And we also took it on our live account. Took it here on Tradeify. And we also took it on our funded Bulenox here. Hopefully we get a pop to the upside. If we don't, then we'll just wait for the next setup here. She could be still a little tricky. She could still be a little tricky here. Trump is talking? Oh, man. Yeah, I heard he's supposed to be tweeting something or posting something on... I heard he's supposed to be posting something on Truth Social. Like he called it his biggest post ever. So, I don't know, man. I hope it's something really good. Because if not, then we're gonna feel it here. Speaking live? Yikes. Come on, give us a little pop here, baby. Give us a little pop. Yeah, a little poppy pop. All right, let me see. Trump live now.
You know the real story, and she isn't either. She is unbelievable. She was one of the strongest district attorneys in the history of New York.
Can you guys hear Trump here?
Highly respected.
Can you guys hear him?
Went after the drug dealers at a level that you don't see today anymore, and hopefully she's given up a tremendous.
Cool.
She's leaving the #1 show on cable television, one of the #1 shows on television, period. The 5, but they've got great people left behind, but she was a big part of it. And so I equated to that. Janine Pirro is unbelievable. FDA Commissioner Dr. Marty McCary with a reputation that's second to none, and the job he's doing has been fantastic. Thank you, Marty. And Director of National Institute of...
Oh, Hermana, what's up, brother? That's good, man. God bless, brother. Praise Jesus, brother. Hermana's feeling better. Doctor said he'll be able to get out by the end of the week. That's good, man. We've been praying for you, brother. Amen. Guys, give Hermana some love in the chat. Give him some love.
Why didn't somebody fight the drug price situation, meaning equalization? There's a term. It's called equalization. Nobody wants to mention that term. And I'm not knocking the drug companies. I'm really more knocking the countries than the drug companies because they're forced to do things. But the drug lobby is the strongest lobby in this country. They said the drug lobby. It's between that and...
Thanks, Komatsu.
And they have a lot of power. But starting today, the United States will no longer subsidize the health care of foreign countries, which is what we were doing. We're subsidizing others' health care. The countries where they paid a small fraction of what, for the same drug, that what we pay many, many times more for. And we'll no longer tolerate profiteering and price gouging from Big Pharma. But again, it was really the countries that forced Big Pharma to do things that, frankly, I'm not sure they really felt comfortable doing. But they've gotten away with it, these countries. European Union has been brutal. And the drug companies actually told me stories. It was just brutal how they forced them. And European Union suing all our companies, Apple, Google, Meta, they're suing all of our companies. They end up, they have judges that are European Union-centric, and they get rewarded $15 billion, $17 billion, $20 billion, and they use that to run their operation. Not going to happen any longer, that I can tell you. So what's been happening is we've been subsidizing other countries throughout the world, not just in Europe, throughout the world. European Union was the most difficult from what I understand. I mean, I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a businessman, very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. A highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug. And he called me up and he said, President, he calls me, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me President, so that's nice respect. He's a rough guy, smart guy, very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. So, President, could I ask you a question? Well, I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. He said, I just paid $88. And in New York, I paid $1,300. What the hell?
Thank you, Master Rick. Thank you, Komatsu.
He said, so I checked.
God be praised, Hermana. Hermana,
Same box, made in the same
Hermana, man. God bless you, brother. I'm so happy you're here. So happy
that I
you're
buy
here,
in
brother.
New York.
Makes me happy.
And here I'm paying $88 in London. In New York, I'm paying $1,300. Now, this is a great businessman, but he's not familiar with this crazy situation that we have. But he was stunned But it was just one of those stories. And I brought it up with the drug companies, represented by somebody who's very, very smart, good person too. And we argued about it for about half hour. And then finally he just said, because they can't justify it, he just said, look, you got me. You got me. I can no longer they've been justifying this crap for years. They said, oh, it's research and development. Well, I said, well, research and development, other countries should pay research and development too. It's for their benefit. It was just one of those things. And the other countries would set a price, and they'd meet the price, and they'd say, if you don't meet the price, you can't sell it in our country. I said, well, then you walk away, and they'll call you back, and they'll sell it in the country. But now they'll have to do that. So for the first time in many years, we'll slash the cost of prescription drugs, and we will bring fairness to America. Drug prices will come down by much more, really, if you think 59. If you think of a drug that is sometimes 10 times more expensive, it's much more than the 59%. It depends on the way you want to analyze it, but in one way you could analyze it that way. But between 59 and 80, and I guess even 90%. So when I worked so hard in the first term, and if I got prices down, remember I was the only one to ever get prices down for a full year, but I'd get them down like 2%, and I thought it was like a big deal. Well, we're getting them down 60, 70, 80, 90%, but actually more than that if you think about it in the way mathematically.
Guys, say what's up to Pine Tree, man.
And farmer has to say, we're sorry, but we'll not be able to do this any longer to these countries that have been so tough.
If you want to check out his channel, click on his little icon. His little
It's trade.
Circle. Check out his channel. He's got some really cool stuff in there.
Very powerful. And the Democrats have protected farmer. The Democrats, this is the Democrats have protected farmer. These are the Democrats. And by the way, I just called
good thing we
the Speaker of the House, and I just called the leader, our leader in the Senate, John Thune, Mike Johnson. Spoke to both of them. I said, when you score, you're going to have to score two things. You're going to have to, number one, score that hundreds of billions of dollars of tariff money is coming in. But even bigger than that, you're going to have to score that your cost for Medicaid and Medicare and just basically pharmaceuticals and drugs is going down at a level that nobody has ever seen before. It'll pay for the Golden Dome. I see the Golden Dome is there, see? That'll easily pay for the Golden Dome. And we'll have a lot of money left over. We need the Golden Dome, by the way, in this world. Although this world's a lot safer today than it was a week ago.
Watch this area here,
and a lot safer than it was 6 months
VWAP
ago.
Right here.
We had people that had no clue what they were doing.
Sitting at 828.
So today Americans spend 70% more for prescription drugs than we spent in the year 2000. Think of that. Our country has the highest drug prices anywhere in the world by sometimes a factor of 5, 6, 7, 8 times. It's not like they're slightly higher. They're 6, 7, 8 times. There are even cases of 10 times higher. So that you go 10 times more expensive for the same drug, that's big numbers. Even though the United States is home to only 4% of the world's population, pharmaceutical companies make more than 2/3 of their profits in America. So think of that. With 4% of the population, the pharmaceutical companies make most of their money, most of their profits from America. That's not a good thing. Now, I think, by the way, I have great respect for these companies and for the people that run them. I really do. And I think they did one of the greatest jobs in history for their company, convincing people for many years that this was a fair system. Nobody really understood why, but I figured it out. For years, pharmaceutical and drug companies have said that research and development costs were what they are, and for no reason whatsoever. They had to be borne by America alone. Not anymore, they don't. This means American patients were effectively subsidizing socialist healthcare systems in Germany, in all parts of the European Union. They were the toughest of all. They were nasty. And I see that. I see that with trade, too. European Union is, in many ways, nastier than China.
Welcome to the channel, Alex. Thank you for joining, brother.
We've just started with them.
Joining.
Oh, they'll come down a lot. You watch.
Yeah, we'll see if we get.
We have all the cards.
Move here high.
They treated us very
Think we might
unfairly.
tap the
They
top
sell
of this
us
channel.
13 million cars. We sell them none. They
Value area
sell us
high is
their
up here at 909.
agricultural products. We sell them virtually none. They don't take our products. That gives us all the cards, and very unfair. So they're going to have to pay more for health care, and we're going to have to pay less. That's all it is. And believe it or not, you know, because it's really the world we're talking about, not just the European Union, but because it's the world, the numbers are for the healthcare company not as bad as you would think.
Take care,
They'll
Komatsu.
make the same. I think the
Don't try to
healthcare company
understand
should
this guy.
make
He's a human version of
pretty
the
much
AI
the same
chatbot.
money. I really don't believe they should be affected
Perhaps.
very much, because it's just a redistribution of wealth. It's a redistribution where it could be the same top line, but it's going to be distributed differently. Europe's going to have to pay a little bit more. The rest of the world's going to have to pay a little bit more, and America's going to pay a lot less. Again, because it's a much smaller population than when you think of the whole world. So
So we're subsidizing.
basically what we're doing
We're
is
subsidizing
equalizing.
healthcare
There's
in
a
other
new word
countries?
that I came up with, which I think is
How
probably
crazy
the
is that?
best word. We're going to equalize. Where we're all
How
going to
crazy
pay
is
the
that?
same.
Did you guys know
We're
that?
going to pay what Europe's going to pay. We're going to all pay. Now, there may be some countries in dire need, and I would be willing to sacrifice
Yeah,
that,
that's different.
but and help them. But it's called most favored nation. We are going to pay the lowest price there is in the world. We will get whoever is paying the lowest price. That's the price that we're going to get. So remember that. So we're no longer paying 10 times more than another country.
Amen.
Whoever is paying the lowest price, we will look at that price and we will say that's the price we're going to pay. Most favored nations. That's what it is. One breast cancer drug
second, guys. Someone's at the
costs
door.
Americans over $16,000 per bottle. But the same drug from the same factory, manufactured by the same company, is 1/6 that price in Australia and 1/10 that price in Sweden. 1/10 for the identical product. A common asthma drug costs almost $500 here in America, but costs less than $40 in the United Kingdom. So $40 in the United Kingdom, which is where this gentleman told me he paid a small amount for his shot. But think of that. So $40 versus $500 here. That's not even bad. There are much worse examples. And the weight loss drug, Ozempic, costs 10 times more in the United States than in the rest of the developed world. 10 times more. Why? Why? What did we do? Suckers. But we never had a president
You
that
knew
had
that
the
trading
courage
for
to do
pips,
this.
man. That's crazy. This is a biblical.
And
word.
nobody knew the system like
That's
I do. I mean, I've gotten to know this system
Anthony
so
Richards,
well.
what's up, brother? Thanks. No worries.
And I don't think it's fair
I
that
knew
it
that we
benefits
had something
Obamacare. Obamacare is a failure. It's not a good.
I always heard
not a
that.
good
I always
healthcare.
heard that Canada had like
It
very
works. I made it
inexpensive-
work.
in Mexico.
I had an
like, you can go
obligation to
Canada or
make it
Mexico
work.
and get prescription
or
drugs for
an
like
obligation
so much
to
cheaper,
let
but
it
then if you
die.
try
I
to get them
chose
across
that we
the
had to
border,
make it work.
good
I had
luck
to
with
make
that.
it as good as possible.
Good luck with that.
And I had a choice. I could have let it fail or make it as good as possible. As good as possible means it was still not very good, but it survived. And we did the right thing. But this makes everything work. And I don't want to have a bad form of health care work because of the fact I was able to cut drug prices by 80 or 90%. So we're going to maybe come up with something. I think this gives the
Yeah, I
Republicans a
figured
chance to actually do a
Anthony,
health care
no
that's
worries.
much better than
Hey,
Obamacare
Smooth, Trump is too
and for
loud.
less
Can
money,
you-
which
can I
if
hear
you guys
All
would
right, I'll
work
turn it
on
down a
that
little bit.
along with Congress. But I do want to say that Democrats could have done this a long time ago. They have fought like hell for the drug companies, and they knew they were doing the wrong thing. And it's going to be very
Sorry
hard.
about that.
I was just telling the leader and the speaker that it's going to be very hard for the Democrats to vote against the one big, beautiful deal. The greatest tax cuts in history, greatest everything, but now you have the big drug prices because that's going to be included. It makes that whole situation different from a scoring standpoint. I just told them, I called them up about this. I said, I'm going to do something that's going to be very monumental, and you're going to be scoring. You better tell your
I think they're going to try to
people
defend
that
this area
this
here.
is going to score really well. And then add
If they can break through here,
hundreds
then
of
we're going
billions
to
of
lose it
dollars
back
in
down to
tariffs
the VWAP more than
to
likely.
your list also. But as big as the tariffs are, this is something that really hits quickly.
We cleaned up this entire candle.
5 years ago, I signed an executive order to confront this
It's looking pretty
disaster,
bearish at the moment.
but only confront it
Took
in
a
a
mini
minor
sell at
way.
the top,
It was
but
a
still
good
mixed about the
confrontation, but
direction.
never to this
Yeah.
extent.
Good morning, F4.
And
Yeah, I
took
think we
people a
might
little
end
while
up
to
dumping here.
understand a very complicated system. But Joe Biden, without any knowledge of what he was doing, terminated the policy and then pretended to negotiate under a new system. And
Let's see
then you take a look, 5 out of the 10 drugs that he negotiated are now over 200% more expensive in America than the rest of the world, and far more expensive than when he even got involved. Much more expensive than when he got involved. Joe Biden's plan was as you know, because you wrote about it, you don't say it very loudly, but it was a very big failure, was his whole presidency. First, I'm directing the U.S. trade representatives and Department of Commerce to begin investigations into foreign nations that extort drug companies by blocking their products unless they accept bottom line and very low dollar amounts for their product, unfairly shifting the cost burden onto American patients. And we'll be taking a look at that very strongly. The biggest thing we're going to do is we're going to tell those countries,
Nice drop,
like those represented by the European Union, that, you know, that game is up, sorry. And if they want to get cute, then they don't have to sell cars into the United States anymore. It's a very big subject. And they won't get cute, because I'll defend the drug companies from that standpoint. They were given a price by the European unions and other countries. This is what you do. This is what we're going to pay. We're not going to pay any more. Let America pay the difference, because there was a big shortfall. Let America pay it. And that's what we did, but we're not doing it anymore. Next, my administration will secure what we're calling most favored nations drug pricing. The principle is simple. Whatever the lowest price paid for a drug in other developed countries, that is the price that
I didn't take this
Americans will pay.
I
We're
wanted to,
using
though.
the term other developed countries because there are some countries that need some additional help, and that's fine. I think that's very good. Some prescription drug and pharmaceutical prices will be reduced almost immediately by 50 to 80 to 90%. Big Pharma will either abide by this principle voluntarily or will use the power of the federal government to ensure that we are paying the same price as other countries. To accelerate these price restrictions and reductions, my administration will also cut out the middlemen. We're going to totally cut out the famous middlemen. Nobody knows who they are, middlemen. I've been hearing the term for 25 years, middlemen. I don't know who they are, but they're rich. That I can tell you. We're going to cut out the middlemen and facilitate the direct sale of drugs at the most favored nation price directly to the American citizen. So we're cutting out, Bobby, the middlemen. It's so important, right? You got to do that. They're worse than the drug companies. They don't even make a product, and they make a fortune. It's very smart business people, that I can tell you. If companies make no significant progress toward most favored nation pricing, which we will insist that they do, so I think I'm wasting time talking about it. We're going to insist upon it. And we'll insist, and we're going to help the drug companies with the other nations, because those other nations do a lot of trading with us. They need our trade, just like China needed us very badly. They need us just as badly. We will do whatever
Anthony,
we have to.
good question.
Trade,
I used to,
like
not anymore.
We did some great
it's just
things
that I
with
wasn't.
trade
When you
with
get nervous
India
or
and
anxious when you're
Pakistan.
trading, it's because you're not confident
Really
in your
helped the
strategy.
situation, very
So I
heated
think
situation.
if that happens to you, you
Could
should
have lost
really take
millions of people, more than
a
millions.
good
I mean,
amount of
many
time,
millions
like
of people.
a couple of weeks, and just back test your strategies
And,
so much that you know it's win
they
rate.
want to do business
And when
with
you know it's win
America.
rate, when you take the
We
trade,
never
then you're
used our
confident that you have the
powers
odds
that
in your
way.
favor.
Never knew how. We never
Yeah,
had
but that
people
happens
that knew
to
how to do
happens to
that.
everybody. I used
We'll
to
also open up
remember
America's
that
market
like
to
my
safe
arm used to
and
tense up, and I
legal
used to feel it in
imports
my
of
shoulder that I
affordable
was like so
drugs from other
tense.
countries,
And
putting
it didn't matter the size.
dramatic
I could be
downward
trading
pressure
micros
on
or minis. It
prices.
didn't matter. It's just I
And if
didn't have the
necessary,
confidence.
we'll investigate
And
the
it just
drug
was
companies,
I was
and
too
we'll,
fixated
in
on
particular,
losing.
investigate
I was like, I
the
don't want to lose. I don't want to
countries
lose. That's
that
all
are
I
doing
could think
this,
about
and
is
we
not
will
losing.
add it onto
Now when I
the
put on a trade,
price.
I just forget
that
about it. I just look at
we
it. I make
charge
fun of
them
it. I
for
try to
doing
joke
business
around
in
with you
America.
guys.
In other
don't care
words,
what
we'll add
happens.
it onto tariffs if they don't do what is right,
So as long
which
as I
is
break even,
everybody
Captain? Okay.
should equalize. Everybody should pay the same price. And special interests
We could
may
get
not
rejected
like
here.
this very much, but the American people will. I mean, I am doing this for the American people.
We'll see.
I'm doing this against the most powerful lobby in the world, probably the drug lobby, drug and pharmaceutical lobby. but it's one of the most important orders I think that's ever been signed, certainly with regard to health care or health in the history of our country, and it's an honor to be a part of it.
I don't think Trump's saying too much about
Robert F. Kennedy to say
issues that are affecting the market right now. I think he's talking more about just
Thank you, Mr.
stuff that has to do with the
this is
with
this
the
is an extraordinary
pharmaceutical
day. This is
companies
an
and
issue
with
that,
what Robert F.
I
Kennedy is
grew
about
up
to
in the
talk about.
Democratic Party, and every
see.
major
It took me 5
Democratic
years to
leader
get
for
control
20
over my
years been
emotions while
making this
trading.
promise to the
Hardest thing to
American people.
overcome.
This was the
Absolutely, but
fulcrum
what
of
helped you
Bernie
pocket
Sanders'
size treasures? Was it
runs for presidency,
knowing
that he
your
was gonna
strategy and
eliminate
being
this
confident in your strategy? What
discrepancy
helped you the most?
between Europe and the United States. But as it turns out, none of them were doing it. It's one of these promises that politicians make to their constituents, knowing that they'll never have to do it. And the reason they'll never have to do it is because they know that Congress is controlled in so many ways by the pharmaceutical industry. There's at least one pharmaceutical lobbyist for every congressman, every senator in Capitol Hill, and every member of the Supreme Court. By some estimates, 3.
It looks like sellers are still trying to push this price down
Pharmaceutical
here.
companies, the industry itself
Wow, what a
spends
dump.
3 times
What a dump.
what the next largest lobbyist spends on lobbying. So this was an issue that people talked about, but nobody wanted to do anything because it was radioactive. They knew you couldn't get it by Congress. We now have a president who is a man of his word, who has the courage. President Trump was taking money from the pharmaceutical industry too. I think they gave you $100 million. But he can't be bought, unlike most of the politicians in this country. And he is standing here for the American people. I don't know what, there's writers like Lord Elizabeth Warren or Robert Reich who are saying that President Trump is on this side of the oligarchs. There has never been a president more willing to stand up to the oligarchs than President Donald Trump. And I'm very, very proud of you, Mr. President, for your courage, I'll say, because I don't want to be crude, your intestinal fortitude, your stiff spine, and your willingness to stand up for the American people. We have 4.2% of the world's population. Our country represents 75% of the revenues for pharmaceutical companies. We spend in our country $1,126 per capita on drugs. In Britain, they spend about $240. They spend 1/5 of what we do. And this is true across Europe. And the drug companies, Europeans, if you ask them, it made no sense what they were saying.
It's worked out.
America has to pay for this innovation, or
So we're getting
it's
that
not
moved
going to
down to
happen.
VWAP as expected
What
here.
President Trump is saying to our European partners is you got to raise the
Watch
amount
this
that you're
area here
paying
for
for those
possible
drugs
support.
and pay for your share of the innovation. Oh, that the United States is no longer subsidizing that. If the Europeans raise the price of their drugs by just 20%, that is $10 trillion. That can be spent on innovation, and the health of all people all across the globe is going to increase because we're going to have better products. So I'm just so grateful to be here today. I never thought that this would happen in my lifetime. I have a couple of kids who are Democrats, are big Bernie Sanders fans, and when I told them that this was going to happen, they had tears in their eyes because they thought this is never going to happen in our lifetime, and we finally have a president who's willing to stand up for the American people. Thank you, and Dr. Oz.
Thank you, Secretary Kennedy. This is the most powerful executive order on pharmacy pricing and healthcare ever in the history of our nation. And it's only happening because we have a president with the fortitude, the guts to stand up to the withering criticism and lobbying that's going to occur as soon as folks hear about the executive order. So on behalf of the child in Philadelphia who's got an autoimmune disease with a $1,000 a month drug, or the older woman in Los Angeles who's on a blood
what they're
thinner
saying right now, by the way.
copay,
This is
I want
huge.
to thank President Trump. God bless you for having the guts to take on this industry. Thank you, sir.
I mean, what he's doing right now.
So let's talk about the details a little bit. And this is
happy to be an
primarily
American, not
about equalization,
feel like you're
as President Trump said.
being
it's about
targeted
fairness.
because
Think of NATO as
we
a
have a
metaphor.
wealthy nation.
when
There's a lot of
President
people in
Trump
this country
said
who
you've
do
got to
not
pay a
have
little
enough.
more, so it makes sense for all of us.
Very expensive
they
to
came
live
up.
here. Wow.
And,
Yes, it's dumping.
the European countries contributed. The same thing we believe will happen in this situation.
Pharmaceutical company stocks
Most
right now are
people
probably
who have thought about
plummeting.
this process
Let me take a quick
agree
look at
that
some
it is patently
pharmaceutical stocks real
unfair
quick.
to tolerate the numbers that Secretary Kennedy and President Trump have reflected to you. On this chart to my left is a list of the 10 drugs that were negotiated in the IRA.
Let me take
Again,
a
this
look
is
at
the bill, the law
Pfizer.
that regulates a negotiation process. This is the best
Pfizer.
price that was able to be obtained by the Biden administration. And if you look at these numbers, they actually reflect how much on top of the most favored nation price was being paid by the United States. So the closest to me,
How do you
Bob, you
spell
can
Pfizer?
point to the Jardiance, the
it
closest one,
PF?
289%, the one that's closest to you. That means that
Yeah,
we are
Pfizer.
paying in America 4 times
Pfizer, is that
more
what it is?
than that drug costs in other
PFIZER
countries.
maybe?
Again, 100% is the baseline. It's 289%
Pfizer?
above that baseline.
Anybody
It goes
know?
all the way down to when we're paying 50% more than any other country. That's the range. As was pointed out by President Trump,
Pfizer.
half the time we're paying 3 times more than is paid in other
PFIZER
countries.
stock, yeah.
It doesn't make
How do you
any
spell it?
sense for the system. That stated, President Trump has over and over again indicated, and Secretary Kennedy reflected as well, we want innovation. We want our technology
Pfizer.
partners doing the
Let's see if
best they
that's the
can
one.
to make the best solutions for drugs to cure as many people in America
Pfizer's
and around the
pumping
world as
right now. What
possible.
the heck?
By getting our allies to pay
Why
a
is
bit
Pfizer
more,
pumping?
as they should be, and they should have for many years.
I thought this would be
been doing,
hurting them. I
will
guess
course
not.
correct a problem that's
They're really
gotten out of
sticking
hand.
it to
And
these
by doing that
pharmaceutical
in a
companies, I
thoughtful,
see.
effective
Pfizer's
way,
pumping.
We're going to be able to get the
Wait,
pharmaceutical
unless
industry
it gapped
whole.
down.
Those jobs will still be here.
No.
We'll still be productive. We'll still be curing cancer and a slew of
5
other
minutes.
ailments that plague
Yeah, no.
humanity. America will still be the leader
It's pumping.
in this space.
Ever
but
since
we're paying the
the
appropriate
9:30 this
amount,
morning.
the right-sized amount for
pumping.
those tasks. So over the next 30 days,
Oh, well.
the 4 of us up here, together with
Makes
people
no sense
standing
to me.
in the back of this room who are doing a lot of the heavy lifting, are going to be approaching pharmaceutical
Oh,
companies. to
BTC's
talk
dumping
specifically about
hard.
what we want the most favored
Bitcoin's
nation
dumping
price to be
hard.
based on the best data we have.
Whoa.
We're looking forward to a thoughtful interaction with these corporate leaders, many of
Wow.
whom we've spoken to and in quiet will agree the system is not right the way it is.
Ooh,
They're patriotic
NQ is
Americans, they
pumping-
want
I mean,
what's
dumping
right.
too,
But
really
the
hard.
fact that in my
Wow, this is
lifetime,
nasty,
as
guys.
Secretary Kennedy said, for the first time,
this is
we have
nasty.
a thoughtful and aggressive approach
Very
thanks to
nasty
President
here.
Trump
This was
on
a
taking
big
on
bear flag.
the special interests. Should give all Americans confidence that this is an administration that stands for fairness and should chill the waters for those who believe they can push us away from our North Star, which is to take care of
All right,
the
so we
American
swept.
people.
Looks like we
Mr. President,
swept.
God bless you.
Next stop here would be.
Jay, you want to go next? Yep.
So I teach economics at
101.
Stanford as well as health policy. And one thing that's really, really simple in economics is that when you have a persistent price difference
Wow, yeah, we lost
for the
that.
same product between two countries, there is something deeply wrong. And what President Trump has done is a historic measure
Yeah,
that
BTC
should have
looks
been
like it
done
wants
a
to go
long
down to
time ago.
99,000.
What we're going to do is make
Possibly
sure that
maybe
those
even
prices
97,000.
become much closer
Excuse
to
me.
equal, like a
We're
competitive
getting
market
to
you
sell
expect.
up here hard.
Right now, what's happening is the American people are subsidizing in large.
We're getting to
large
Bart
fraction
Simpson after all.
The research and
We are
development
getting at Bart
efforts
Simpson.
for
Look how we
drug
might
companies
make this
around
move
the
down to
world by the higher prices that we
20,580s.
pay.
Maybe
With
even
this
a
new
gap fill.
order,
This could be an epic short.
Europe will share
could
the
be
burden
epic.
of that. And in fact, if you may think of it as like
Wow.
as somehow it's like it's going after drug companies, actually it's helping drug companies.
Can't say we
Because
didn't see it
what we're
coming,
also
right?
gonna
A lot of
do
you
with
guys
this
said
order,
the
what
same
President
thing.
Trump has done with this order
Might fill this
is he's
gap.
said to European governments,
Not sure.
look, if you are taking advantage of the drug companies by forcing them to charge very, very low prices, we're going to defend American drug companies in Europe. At the same time, we're standing up for the American consumer who's been paying far too high prices for far too long. I can go back decades to point to congressional reports after government report after government report of tremendously high drug prices, much higher than the rest of the world, and nothing has been done about it until this moment. And I'm really, really proud, President Trump, that you have done this. I'm really proud to be included in this and looking forward to the work ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of the many doctors I've talked to about this very issue, thank you for taking the bull by the horns.
Thanks for
Presidents on
thanks for
both
your
sides of
response,
the
pocket
aisle
size
have talked
treasures.
about this and floated
So
it.
just
and said they
basically
wanted to
screen
do it.
time
So
and just being able
you've had the
to be
courage
okay with a
do it.
loser, huh?
Thank you. I've been a surgical
man.
oncologist at Johns
Did I
Hopkins
see
for
IWM?
22
No, I
years,
haven't.
and I have seen patients suffer. We didn't take an oath to heal patients and then watch their life get ruined
Yeah,
financially.
motivation healing. Looks like
with
if
their
you're still in this
home,
short, congratulations.
mortgage, retirement, going down the drain with
Dang it, missed
GoFundMe
that drop?
campaigns,
Yeah, I think I did
raising
too.
money from church
It's
communities and
all right, though. We
synagogues
took,
and friends they haven't seen
we
in
took a
20
decent
years
long in here.
to
Yeah,
try
this
to
short
raise
I
money
had
for what? For a
called
system where
because I
Americans
saw
have been getting ripped off
sellers absorbing, but we
by
didn't sweep this
10,
high
12,
level here.
15
We
times
saw
higher
sellers
prices
absorbing,
than we
and then we
see
saw
in other
sellers
countries.
pushing
The
through. This was a
fundamental
beautiful
problem in
entry
healthcare is that we've had
for a short here that I
non-competitive
did not take. I
markets.
got to trust my
We can
charts,
do
man.
little
I really
things
do have
around
to
the
trust my
edges, or
charts.
we can transform
I
those
just thought that this
markets
wanted to come
to
back
competitive markets,
and
that's
clean
what
up
this
these candles in
executive order
here.
does today.
That's what was
Imagine
kind of throwing me off, but I got to
buying
trust
a
the order
Ford
flow,
for
man. I do. I have to trust the absorption and the order flow.
$175,000,
If I
a
don't,
regular car, and
then
then
I'll miss
hearing that
opportunities like this
people
as
in
well.
London are buying it for $10,000
All right, so we're set here. We'll,
every day, all day
keep
long.
our eyes on
That
this-
is the
these
craziness
levels.
of this system. We're going to do everything we can at the FDA to support this executive order. It's transformative. Thank you, Mr. President.
So thank you very much, everybody. I think it's a very important day. In many ways, you have, we'll start with the Houthis. We go to Pakistan and India. We go to what we did with China, the trade deal, and with UK. And by the way, many other deals are coming in very much. At a certain point, we'll just set the price because we know where we are. But we'll just set the price. But world trade is going to be
This line here is the value
terrific,
area
and
low.
our country is going to be making a lot of money. Taxes are going to go down. Taxes are going to go down very, very substantially.
We catch the next one, Erica.
But you look at all of the things that we've done, and
Guess the
now
next one,
today I'm heading over. We'll see what we're going to do with respect to Iran. I think you have very good things happening there too, by the way. I think can't have a nuclear weapon, but I think that they are talking intelligently. We're in the midst of talking to them, and they're right now acting very intelligent. We want Iran to be wealthy and wonderful and happy and great, but they can't have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. And so I think they understand that I mean business, and I think they're being very reasonable thus far. And don't underestimate Thursday in Turkey. President Erdogan is going to be a great host, and we are doing some work with him, having to do
Thank you
with
for that,
Syria,
Anthony.
too.
Appreciate
By the way, we're
the
going to have
message.
to make a decision on the sanctions, which we may very well relieve. We may take them off
And welcome to the channel,
Syria
too.
because we want to give them a fresh start. But President Erdogan's asked me about that. Many people have asked me about that because the way we have them sanctioned, it doesn't really give them much of a
What a
start.
nice drop here.
So we want to see if we can help them out. So we'll make that determination. But I think you're going to have maybe a good meeting. You have the potential for a good meeting, that a meeting wasn't going to take place. I insisted that that meeting take place. And it is taking place. And I think you may have a good result out of the Thursday meeting in Turkey between Russia and
Yeah, it's
Ukraine.
pretty wild today.
And
Uriah.
I believe the two
Uriah.
leaders were going to be there. I was thinking about flying
Good
over.
morning,
I don't know
Uriah.
where I'm going to
Thanks
be
for
on
being here,
Thursday.
brother.
I've got so many meetings.
Let's get the likes up,
But,
guys. Let's do
I
a
was
50K
thinking about
eval
actually
giveaway. We
flying
get to
over there. There's a
75.
possibility of it, I guess, if I think things can happen. But we got to get it done. We got to save 5,000 lives a week. 5,000 lives is really more than that. It's worse than that. And when you see and you don't want to see it, but when you see the satellite photographs of the battlefield with arms and legs and heads all over the place, separated by 30 yards from bodies, doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So we're
It's
working very
diabolical, man.
hard to see if we can end that bloodbath. Okay, there shouldn't be too many questions. It's been
Thank you, Mr.
covered pretty
President.
well.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for taking questions. Two quick ones for you, starting on trade. If a longer-term deal is not reached with China at the end of these 90 days, can the American people expect those tariffs to go back up to 145%?
No, but they would go up substantially higher.
We're about to
You know,
get
at
some major action here
145,
with him
you're
answering
really
these
decoupling
questions.
'cause nobody's going to buy. But they can
Watch,
go.
guys.
They
Watch
got
the market right now. Be
very high
careful with the
because
market
of,
right now.
Additional tariffs I applied. during
Depending on
the
what he
course
says right now,
because
this
of
could
fentanyl
really
and
pump
other
the market
things.
100 points
no,
in
but
either
they go
direction.
substantially higher.
And then on
Pump it or
Qatar,
dump
Mr.
it.
President,
I think you will have a deal, however.
Okay, you're confident that there will be a deal. On Qatar, has Qatar asked for anything in exchange for that $400 million luxury jumbo jet? And how can the American people be so sure that they will not in the future?
Well, I think what happens with the plane is that, we're very disappointed that it's taking Boeing so long to build a new Air Force One. We have an Air Force One that's 40 years old. And if you take a look at that compared to the new plane of the equivalent stature at the time. It's not even the same ball game. You look at some of the Arab countries and the planes they have parked alongside of the United States of America plane. It's like from a different planet. And it's close to 40 years old, might be more than 40 years old now. And we, when I first came in, I signed an order to get it built. I took it over from the Obama administration. They had originally agreed. I got the price down much lower. And then when the election didn't exactly work out the way that it should have, a lot of work was not done on the plane because a lot of people didn't know. They made change orders that were so stupid, so ridiculous. And it ended up being a total mess, a real mess. And when I came back, I said, by the way, what's going on with the Boeings that are coming in? Well, sir, they're way behind. And they are. They're way behind. They were way behind. Another mess that I inherited from Biden. And it's going to be a while before we get them. And I think Qatar, who has really, we've helped them a lot over the years in terms of security and safety. I think they, and very, very nicely, and I have a lot of respect for the leadership and for the leader, Qatar. And I think they they knew about it because they buy Boeings. They buy a lot of Boeings. And they knew about it. And they said, we would like to do something. And if we can get a 747 as a contribution to our Defense Department.
Ask them some stupid questions, but they can move the market though with these questions.
A couple of years while
They
they're
can really move this
building
market.
the other ones. I think that was a very nice gesture. Now, I could be a stupid person and say, oh, no, we don't want a free plane. We give free things out. We'll take one, too. And it helps us out because, again, we're talking about we have 40-year-old aircraft. The money we spend, the maintenance we spend on those planes to keep them tippy-top is astronomical. You wouldn't even believe it. So I think it's a great gesture from Qatar. I appreciate it very much. I would never be one to turn down that kind of an offer. I mean, I could be a stupid person and say, no, we don't want a free, very expensive airplane. But I thought it was a great gesture. And I think it was a gesture because of the fact that we have helped and continue to. We will
Uriah,
continue
lungs look better right now. I'm waiting for a
all of those
pullback
countries,
into
Saudi
this range.
Arabia, the UAE,
If we can get
Qatar,
one,
and
pull back
others.
into this range,
We
but
keep
we
them
might pump
safe.
right now into the VWAP.
If it wasn't for
or
us, they
into the trend
probably
line
wouldn't
here.
exist right now. And I think this was just a gesture of good faith. And I don't get it. Someday it'll be like Ronald Reagan. They decommission them. You know, they get to a certain age, they decommission them. It'll go to my library. They're talking about going to my library in years out. But I thought it was a great gesture. And it's something that was done by Ronald Reagan. They actually decommissioned the plane and he put it in his library. And it actually has made the library, I think a Boeing 707, it's actually made the library more successful. So it was good.
Do you plan to use the plane after you leave office?
No, I don't. No, it would.
Welcome
it
to
would
the
go
channel,
directly to the
Barbara
library
Bober.
after I leave office.
Barbara Bober.
I wouldn't be using
Welcome
it.
to the
no.
channel.
Mr.
Thank you for
President,
joining.
on the hostage, you said that
After
the
Trump's done
release
talking,
of the
we'll
American
do a lot more
hostage,
engaging
Adam
with you guys.
Alexander, is a step in good faith to end this war. Do you expect any progress and perhaps announcement on ceasefire during your trip to the Middle East?
We hope that we're going to have other hostages released too, as you know. So when I met with the hostages 3 weeks ago that were there for quite a while, you remember the 10 people that came in, mostly young people.
We're at the
One or
VWAP,
two
guys.
were a little
Lots of
bit
volume.
older.
Yeah, I know.
They went.
This is
They were
very good
explaining
very good
the
trading today.
trials and
Very good,
tribulations.
very
I mean,
good
they went through
environment for
hell.
trading.
And I said, how many are there? They said 59. I said, that's a lot. I didn't realize, because we got a lot out. You know, we got a lot of hostages out, I think you will acknowledge. They said 59, but then they said, they followed that up by saying 59, of which 24 are living, the rest are dead. But the people whose son, mostly son, I think one daughter in this case, but mostly sons are there, or husbands are there. Those people want the dead bodies as much as they want the live body. I have a mother that calls me, but came up to me when I first met her, and she said, sir, please, please get my son out. He's dead, but they have his body. And I asked her about that, and it's as though he were alive. The level of wanting that body back is the same. It couldn't be any more, as though he were alive. So,
It's so sad.
getting the bodies back is
That is
very
so sad.
important. That could be a thing having to do with the religion. It could be sent. I was amazed at the
Maybe how would
level
everyone
of
else feel?
importance. It's the same as if the son or husband or whatever was alive. So they said 59. In fact, they came in with a number 59 written out on like a sign on their chest. But they came to thank me for getting them out. And I said, what does the 59 mean? They said, well, that means there are 59 people. But then they said, but 24 are living. Now it's 21. The number's 21. So now it's actually, we'll get Etan today. We think we're getting him today. So it's 20. So they have 20 live hostages there. The rest are dead bodies.
That's crazy.
Mr. President, are you open to negotiating your tariffs on cars, steel, and aluminum with China or any other country?
Well, we're not even talking about that. We're bringing the car business back into this country. We have commitments, not only commitments, they've already started construction on many plants. They've left Mexico in a few cases. In a few cases, they've left Canada. They're not going to build in Canada. They're going to build here because we have the market, and the tariffs have been amazing. The election and the tariffs. November 5th was a big day, and on top of that, of course, you wouldn't have the tariffs without the election, I guess, if you look at it. But we have at least 11 committed massive car factories that are going to be built, that are in the process of being built. And some are going through, some have actually started. We also have renovations of existing factories where they weren't utilizing the full factory from years gone by, and now they're under full renovation. They'll be opening up full factories in a very short period of time. Our car industry is, I think we're going to have the #1 industry. You know, if you look at Japan and these others, they do tremendously with cars, and they can do that too. But you know, if they want to sell cars in the United States, they're going to have to build factories in the United States, because I'm interested in cars for the United States. Now, one other thing is, in our tax bill, we're giving not only no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, but also we're going to get a deduction for people that borrow money to buy a car if it's made in America. If it's not, we have no interest.
A meeting with between President Putin as well as President Zelensky. If President Putin doesn't show up,
it's been
to talks in person,
tariff news with
will you
China.
join Europe in putting higher sanctions?
Estaba en el
If
Senado
I
last
felt
night
it
and
would
been
be
amazed at the biblical
important toward
concepts you
getting the
apply
deal
to
done,
trade.
I'm the
Thank
one
you,
that
Anthony.
insisted on the meeting.
I appreciate
They
you
couldn't
being
get a
here,
meeting
brother.
because
God has
one
brought a
said
community
ceasefire,
together,
one said
that's
no
for sure.
ceasefire, was going back
Believers
and
and
forth. I
non-believers.
said, look, at this point, we got to stop it.
We
Just
might get
go
a
to the
push
meeting.
higher
The
here,
meeting has
guys.
been
We're getting
set.
buyers absorbing,
Go to the meeting on
followed by
Thursday. And if I thought
green
it
candles.
would be helpful,
I'd like to see a
I don't know where I'm going to
retracement at
be
some
at that
point, but when
particular
Trump is
point. I'll be
talking, a lot of times
someplace
the
in the
market
Middle
just
East, but
tends
I would
to
fly there if I
grind
thought it
higher.
would be helpful. Yeah, please.
This could be a short squeeze to the upside here.
Dozens of Afrikaners who claim discrimination in their home country are heading to the United States,
Right.
where your administration is going to welcome them as refugees. Now, this comes as you've halted virtually all refugee admissions for people fleeing famine and war from countries like Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Why are you creating an expedited path into the country for Afrikaners but not others?
Because they're being killed, and we don't want to see people be killed. Now, South Africa leadership is coming to see me, I understand, sometime next week. And, you know, we're supposed to have I guess, a G20 meeting there or something. But we're having a G20 meeting. I don't know how we can go unless that situation's taken care of. But it's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about.
Oh, wow.
But it's a terrible thing that's taking place. And farmers are being killed. They happen to be white. But whether they're white or black makes no difference to me. But white farmers are being brutally killed, and their land is being confiscated in South Africa. And the newspapers and the media, television media, doesn't even talk about it. If it were the other way around, they'd talk about it. That would be the only story they'd talk about. And I don't care who they are. I don't care about their race, their color. I don't care about their height, their weight. I don't care about anything. I just know that what's happening is terrible. I have people that live in South Africa. They say it's a terrible situation taking place. So we've essentially extended citizenship to those people to escape from that violence and come here. Yeah.
Careful here, guys. We're at the point of control and the VWAP. So there's going to be some crazy price action here.
And do you really believe
Be careful
that they will
here.
follow through with non-tariff barriers and remove those?
Non-monetary
They got a
tariffs, yeah.
temporary
Yeah, I
deal,
think they're
Casey,
gonna
a
follow through.
30-day
think they
deal, I
want it
think.
very
30
badly.
days or
I think
90
they want
days? I
the
think
deal
they have
very
a
badly. Again, this doesn't include the
little
steel
bit of
tariffs that I put
relief
on
for
a long
now?
time ago that Biden tried to get off, but he
Redistribution
couldn't
of
get them off
land
because
is
it was
a
too
rough
much
thing.
money.
Yeah, and that happened in
You know, I took
Guatemala
in
when my
hundreds
dad
of
was a kid.
billions
He
of
tells me about
dollars
it all
from
the time
China,
when
which a lot
communism
of
came
people
in.
don't know, but we put on the tariffs
I don't know if
originally,
it's going
and
to be a
if I didn't
rejection
do that,
here.
we wouldn't
I
have a
think it's
steel
actually going to
industry
be a
today.
move,
Now we have
still continue
a
higher.
thriving
90 days,
steel
right,
industry.
Anthony?
It'll be
That's what I
thriving
thought.
much more with what we're doing because this is the next level. But
In
it doesn't
Guatemala, they
include that,
killed a lot
doesn't
of
include
landowners
cars,
there
doesn't
too
include
to confiscate their
pharmaceuticals when we
lands
do
when
that.
communism came
And
into
the reason
Guatemala.
we're doing that will be to get
But
them to come back in the
obviously,
country.
they
You know,
ended up
there are,
not-
again, I always
communists
say it
ended up
because a lot
losing.
of people forget, but if
It was a bloodbath, my dad would say, though.
a
It was
company
a
like
terrible
Eli
time.
Lilly, which is making a massive investment in the United States right now, they're building many, many plants. They've already started like 7 of them, many plants, but they are not going to be tariffed. There's no tariff cost. So they're all doing that. They're all coming back to the United States. I mean, I'll tell you what, I hope I get the benefit of watching this because, as president, because, you know, it takes a little while to do this stuff. And we're doing it early in the administration. If you think of it, we have, I believe, if you look at the real total, it's over $10 trillion committed for plants and factories. Other administrations haven't had $1 trillion over a 4-year period, even over an 8-year period. We have over $10 trillion committed in one form or the other over 2 months. Give me a break. I'm here to hear 3, but let's give me a break on the first month. We want to get acclimated. But, you know, but if you think about it, it's really 2 months. And so in 2 months, we have an investment already of over $10 trillion. And other presidents haven't had that done over a year, over 4 years in some cases. It's unprecedented. There's never been anything like it. It's a very exciting time in America. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Who's in charge of the budget bill while you're gone, sir?
Mr. President, are you ready to impose sanctions on Russia if Putin doesn't agree with the 30-day ceasefire?
I have a feeling they're going to agree. I do. I have a feeling.
And we think other countries, no European countries,
Mr.
involved, Mr. President, in the
Say it.
negotiations.
The budget bill negotiations are taking place. Who in your administration is in charge of that while you're gone? Is it
Everybody,
Jamie Vance,
Bobby,
Bessent?
from the standpoint of medical, this group behind me, I mean, I think it's the best group ever assembled in terms of medical. I think you're going to see a tremendous cut. I don't think, I mean, I know you're going to see it in Medicaid and Medicare. That cut will be massive because drugs are 50, 60% of the cost. So Medicaid costs are going down and Medicare costs are going down because of what we're doing today. And there's no, it's not like, oh, gee, well, maybe it won't happen. It's going to happen because the other countries have no choice. Now, the drug companies are going to have to say, listen, if you don't pay more, we're not going to give you the drug, and they're willing to do that. So that's it. They have to, we have to equalize.
Mr. President, what is Mr.
Price controls?
Say it.
How do you respond to the fact that this?
It's not price control, no. What was, price control is before. If you want to talk about, price control is what they were doing. They were making us pay. They set a price, and they said, here's what we're going to pay, and anything else charge America. Because at that time, they had a very stupid president, and it really went crazy during the last 4 years. And remember this, the Democrats are the ones that allowed this to happen. They were the ones that were the protector of this pricing system. And I think it's going to be very hard. You'll have to ask Democrats, are they going to vote against the one great, big, beautiful deal that's being negotiated now, tax cuts, et cetera, when now on top of the tax cuts and regulation cuts, all the things, now you're going to say that the price of your medicine is going down by 60, 70, 80%. You're going to vote against it? I think a lot of Democrats are going to be forced to do something that their leaders are going to beg them not to do, and that's vote for the bill. I don't see how they can vote against it. How can they vote against it when drug prices, drugs and pharmaceuticals are going to be down 70, 80%? It's going to be very interesting.
Mr. President, what do you say to people who view that luxury jet as a personal gift to you? Why not leave it behind?
You're ABC fake news, right?
Why not?
only ABC.
ABC
Well,
fake news.
A few of you would. Let me tell you, you should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us, I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much. You know, there was an old golfer named Sam Snead. Did you ever hear of him? He won 82 tournaments. He was a great golfer. And he had a motto: when they give you a putt, you say, thank you very much, you pick up your ball and you walk to the next hole. A lot of people are stupid. They say, no, no, I insist on putting it. Then they putt it and they miss it. And their partner gets angry at them. You know what? Remember that, Sam Snead.
I'm not in any
When they
trades
give
right
you a
now, but
putt,
I'm eyeing
you pick it up
along.
and you walk to the next hole and you say, thank you very much.
Respectfully, sir, as a businessman, some people may look at this and say, have you ever
Cap is adding
been
to his
given a
launch here.
gift worth millions of dollars and then not received
It's
anything?
not a gift to me, it's a gift to the
pretty
Department of
good.
Defense. And you should know better, because you've been embarrassed enough, and so has your network. Your network is a disaster. ABC is a disaster. Here is the bill. Bobby, come on over here.
Okay.
Now you're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars. Thank you very much, everybody.
Mr. President, a quick question about Turkey.
Thank you very much.
Remember, guys, crazy price action here. We got the point of control and we got the VWAP. All right, Trump's done. I think he's out. All right, I think he's done, guys. Well, all right, so now the real price action is going to begin. As long as we can get away from the point of control and the VWAP here, we should get the real price action. I'm favoriting longs. I think longs are still the better trade here. I thought the pharmaceutical companies would be hurting right now, but the pharmaceutical companies are actually pumping. Pfizer is up big this morning. I haven't checked the other ones, but I really don't care for checking the others if Pfizer's already, you know, they're one of the biggest. So I have no idea why. I mean, I have no idea why they're doing so well. It looks like we can get a nice continuation to the upside if we don't come and clean up this candle first. We cleaned up some of it, like 30% of it. I don't know if we'll come down anymore. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, so we're back. Yeah, the reporters should be fired. The kind of questions, they're so disrespectful. Reporters are so disrespectful, man. Yeah. My best friend and his father was Sam Snead. He came to school in a Rolls Royce. Oh, wow, man. That's crazy. Did you ever catch a ride? All right, so we got this manipulation move down here. I think we'll end up cleaning this candle up pretty quickly. We'll see. We'll see here. We'll see if we catch maybe catch a bounce here at the VWAP. Not that I'm going into a long or anything, but remember I told you the price action here is going to be very tricky because we have point of control, we have VWAP here. So it's going to appear as it's like leaving, and then it'll come back and get sucked back into the VWAP again. So I'm actually waiting for us to really break out of this zone for me to start taking trades. So maybe we can get above like the 820s or get below the 740s to start looking for more trades. I should have taken this long when I saw it. I didn't. I like this long a lot. But we'll see. This area here has potential for a pop. We just tapped into it right now. Not sure if we're going to get it right now. It's possible. See how fast they come back to clean up these candles? Sam Snead, huh? What's up, Gunk? How you doing? I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. I'm actually sitting down today, man. I don't know why I'm so lazy. I got a late start to the stream today, so I'm sitting down. I think I might just start walking tomorrow. This feels kind of good. Maybe if it gets really choppy and slow, I'll put the treadmill on. I'll start walking. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. We'll see. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of a dumbaroo here. This could be a move down. I am seeing on the 2 and 3 minute that it's not looking so hot. This could be a move down. This could be a move down. All right, the 2 and 3 minute are not looking so hot anymore, guys. I'm no longer favoring longs at the moment. Right now, it looks like we possibly could be getting a rejection from this area. But remember, like I said, it's the VWAP. So you could get some mixed signals. So right now I'm really not thinking. I'm not thinking longs. If we can maintain the VWAP and find support here, it's a possibility that the 2 and 3 minute are giving us false signals. But as of right now, it's looking kind of weak, especially with this double top looking pattern here where we swept the high. It looks very weak. The reporter should have asked if he believes accepting gifts from foreign countries is illegal for government officials, which it is. It is, but look how much money our Congress has received from foreign nations and how much money Biden has received from China. My back is good now, man. Thank you for asking. What's up, Bill? Good morning, Bill. I had a Sam Snead golf club. Was old as hail and whippy. Wow. What are they famous for? What are the Sneads famous for? I feel like they're a character in like a book. The Sneads, isn't like the Sneads like a character in like one of those children's books? I feel like they are. Yeah, shorts are looking pretty good. This right here has a little potential. Careful, guys. And these areas can get pretty tricky. These areas can get very tricky. Yeah, I don't see us having support until we reach the 700 area. If we lose this VWAP here. It was a putter. Odd shape. Is that what they're known for, though? Yeah, coffee was really good this morning. The coffee was amazing. Careful here, guys. There's going to be a lot of manipulation. They're going to try to get you here one way or another. BTC has completely lost the battle it was on. Yep, completely lost that battle. It's already at 102. I heard Trump coin is pumping. Is that true? Is Trump coin pumping? Let me see. I got it here somewhere. Yeah, sure is. Trump coin is it reached as high as 1530 overnight. I think it was under $10. Where was it? It was as low as $10.40. I think it was as low as $7. So it's been pumping. Yeah, so somebody made 100% return on that Trump coin recently. Yeah, Trump coin is doing wonders. That's crazy. That is insane. All right, looks like we are possibly making a move higher here. We found some support. Very nice. Chopping that VWAP like only she knows how. She's chopping that VWAP like only she can do. Good job, NQ. Oh, is that it? Snead was the third highest money winning golfer? Okay, that makes sense. That shows you how much I know about golf. I mean, I know Arnold Palmer. I know Happy Gilmore. You know. What was Happy Gilmore's coach's name? The guy from Action Jackson? Grubbs? Was it Grubbs? The guy with the missing hand? Snead played 42 years on the PGA Tour, winning $620,000 and accumulating 81 titles. This was a 11 more than his closest rival, Jack Nicklaus. So he only won 620,000. Is that like inflation adjusted would be like many millions today? Because it doesn't seem like a lot. It seems like what they would win in like one tournament now. Do you guys remember the name of Happy Gilmore's coach? Was it Grubbs? It was something like that, right? With the guy with the hand missing. He was Action Jackson. He was in The Predator. I forget his name. You guys remember. You guys are old. If I was a golfer, I would definitely swing like Happy Gilmore. I've been golfing a few times. It's fun. I even had a membership to a golf course back in Jersey, and I would go and take classes with a pro. But I never got into it like some guys. It takes a lot of time, and I spend a lot of time working. But I try to make time for it sometimes. There's a lot of clubs here in Florida. So my buddies, once in a while, they'll take me. Chubbs. It wasn't Grubbs. It was Chubbs. 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 That was his name. Some of you guys are probably scratching your head like, what are you talking about? So Happy Gilmore, aka Adam Sandler, had a movie where he was a golfer, and his grandma. No, he wasn't a golfer. His grandmother was losing her house, and he found, I think, like a pair of golf clubs, and he hit a golf. He was a hockey player, but he hit a golf ball like in the same way he would hit a hockey puck, but he did it like single-handed. It was really weird the way he did it. He like ran up to it, and he had like the longest drive ever. So I think somebody saw him and was like, "Oh no, let me coach you. I think it was Chubbs who saw him. He's like, let me coach you. I want to help you become a golfer." So he's like, "Oh, I'm not interested." He's like, "You can make a lot of money." He's like, "You could save your grandmother's house." So then he became a golfer, and he won. I think he won the tournament and saved his grandmother's house. It was like really funny. One of my favorite movies in the whole world. One of my favorite Adam Sandler movies, to be honest with you, because the ones he does nowadays are not that good. The ones he does nowadays are not the best, man. I think a lot of people have lost their way. We're getting a lot of chop here, so I'm staying away until we can find our way away from the VWAP. As you can see, like this looked like a good long here, but now we're getting to move back down. Now this looks like a good short. That's why you gotta be careful here. Why are you spoiling it? I didn't tell you all the in-betweens, man. You gotta watch the in-betweens. Because you know the good guy always wins, right? I mean, you can start watching 5 minutes of the movie and you know he's gonna end up being the hero at the end of the day. But it's everything that happens in between, and that is just way too funny, man. It's so funny. That movie is just hilarious. I think I must have watched that movie like at least 50 times, man. That and Waterboy. What are some other classic Adam Sandler movies? The Waterboy was great. Billy Madison. Black Sheep. A lot of great Adam Sandler movies, man. Yeah, we might be getting a drop here, guys. We might be getting a pretty nasty drop here. If we end up piercing this level here, might be seeing a drop if we can get under here. This is the VWAP here. This is support here. This was an area that buyers stepped in big time. If we lose this, it's going to be a slippery slope. The one where he was a little boy, he had a little boy. It was called Big Daddy. Tommy Boy was another great one. Yeah, they had what was his name? The chubby guy that was in Tommy Boy. I forget his name. Yeah, when they were peeing on the building. Yeah, that's called Big Daddy. What was that chubby guy who reminds me of John Candy who was in Tommy Boy? I forget his name. You know who I'm really liking nowadays, though? Who I'm really liking from that whole Adam Sandler, movie genre is the guy who is the guy who always says "You can do it." What's his name? I forget his name, man. He comes on social media now. He says he's like one of the only like Hollywood people who are not like completely gone and woke. what's his name? The You Can Do It guy. Chris Farley. That was his name, Chris Farley. Yeah. Who's the You Can Do It guy? He was in that movie where he was like, he turned into like an 18-year-old girl. I forget his name. Rob Schneider. Yeah, Rob Schneider, man. He's one of the good ones. He still has half a brain. Hopefully he hasn't sold out completely at Hollywood, but he's all right. Yeah, Rob Schneider. There you go. That's it. You can do it. He's so funny. That's what I'm gonna tell NQ. You can do it. We're getting sideways. Remember, this is the VWAP chop I was warning you guys against. Be careful with this VWAP chop, man. This is where dreams go to die. The VWAP chop. I have social media, but somehow someone told me Yi lost his mind. Yeah, he's completely lost it, man. He's satanically possessed, man. He's demonically possessed. I'm starting to see that more and more now, because at one point he had given his life to Jesus, and I thought he was sincere about it, and I don't think so, man. I think the poor man is carrying a lot of evil spirits, man. From the moment he mocked Jesus on the cross in his Jesus Walks With Me video, even before that, man, I think he's just, a lot of people have sold their soul in the music industry. And I'm not just saying this because it sounds cool. I actually know people that were in the music industry, and this is going way back, before any of the Diddy stuff, before any of like the stuff that's been, highlighted recently. I'm talking about like 20 years ago. I was supposed to go to music production school, and one of my friends did go to music production school, and he got really deep into the game, and he started working with producers, big producers who worked with people like Lauryn Hill, with Rihanna when Rihanna first came on the scene, and he really started to like get the in on the whole music industry. And he would tell me, he's like, bro, I had to leave the music industry because it's so demonic, bro. He's like, all these guys you see, like all these rappers and all these guys you see, he's like, they all have to do gay stuff. They all have to do sexual perversions in order to even be successful. Like you see guys like LL Cool J, like you think he's like a really manly, like ladies man. He's like, bro, he's like, you had to see what this guy would say, like, about men, about other men. I'm like, you kidding me? He's like, no, bro. It's like, it was mandatory that they had to be sexually perverted in order to make it in the music industry. You literally have to sell your soul. He's like, so the producer he was working for, he said he never really got the huge recognition or the breakout because he never compromised. And then he learned that he didn't want to be in that industry, so he left that industry after, obviously spending his whole college career learning how to be a music producer. He left it to start fresh and just do construction instead. So he owns a construction company now. He does really well with that. But he told me even back then how bad the music industry is. So I am not surprised all this Diddy stuff is coming out now. With what happens in not only the music industry but in Hollywood, and it's so evil. It's just demonically filled, man. And that's why you see a lot of rappers and you see a lot of people or artists get out of that industry and search for God and search for Jesus and search for salvation, because they go to this extreme and they find out that there's a real spiritual war going on between good and evil. And it depends if you're in so deep, the only one that can save you is Jesus himself. Is the only one that can save you. So that's why you see people turn to Christ after being in the music industry. Like recently, a lot of reggaeton artists have actually left the industry to become pastors and to become evangelists, and it's beautiful what we're seeing, but little by little the veil is being pulled back, so people are seeing what really is going on behind the scenes, and it's sad, man. It's sad to see. Rep Schneider is the boss. In person, he was the same way from years ago. Yeah, he seems like a good person, man. He was all religious too, really? Yeah, Rob is a very funny, conservative, stand-up comedian. My other favorite is Bancas? Who's Bancas? Part of the many reasons why I like Tom McDonald, now because he's completely independent. Oh, yeah? Yeah, exactly. Tom McDonald's a rapper, right? If I'm not mistaken. All right, we might be getting this push up here. Yeah, and I think he has lost his not that he has lost his mind, but he needs to be spiritually cleansed, man. We might be getting this pop here. Yeah, he's been doing his wilder and wilder things. And today I saw that he he's had associations in the fashion industry with witches. There's this witch of the fashion industry. I forget her name. I just saw a video on it this morning, and Kanye West was really close with her in his design, and he saw her as like an influential person. Let me see. Her name was her name is Michelle LeMay. She's an evil witch designer in Hollywood, and Kanye West worked with her directly, closely. So he's been on the wrong side of things for a long time. Give me a second, guys. I'm getting a call. Doesn't look like it's a spammer. Trade funded today. Yeah. What's up, Kwame? Yeah, I traded one. I took one trade today. I took it both on my live, and I took it on my funded, and I took it on my eval. Same trade. I took them both at the same time. Yeah. Only one trade so far today, guys. Sorry for the, I could have taken a few more, but there was Trump talking here, so I was kind of nervous about what would happen. And I missed this short here. I really did. I screwed up this short. I should have taken this short here. Right now, the long looks very possible. Very possible and probable, but we're chopping this VWAP. So I don't trust these moves right now. I want to get away from here before we start taking some clean trades. But we did come right up to this little area that I had outlined here. We did come right up to it. This is a support area. I used to think that Kanye West was demonically possessed or lost his mind because of the Kardashian curse. But the more I'm seeing it, I think he brought the curse upon himself. I think he has been knocking on the wrong doors for many years. And it's only going to get worse, man. He's only going to get worse. That's unfortunate, unless he truly does, seek out the kingdom of God, or somebody approaches him and he gives his life up. The right way this time. The right way. All right, let's see what happens here. But I do think the Kardashian curse is a real thing. I wouldn't be surprised if the Kardashians do carry some kind of a curse on them, man. Look what happened to look what's happened to every man that's been with them. They become a very bad version of themselves. Let's just put it that way. Let me not talk bad about anyone. That's not really what I'm here to do. But we do have to expose darkness, right? That's one of the things the Bible says. All right, let's see what we get here. Are we gonna hold the VWAP and possibly pop from here? Because we're chopping this thing pretty good so far. They're collecting orders here, so they're collecting orders to either take it up to the next level higher, or to dump this thing on its head. One or the other. Yeah, I'm thinking they really have to hold this 760s. They really have to hold the 760s. If they can't hold 760s, which is down here, if they can't hold these 760s, then it's going to be pretty rough. But right now, it looks pretty good for it to go higher. If the VWAP wasn't here, I'd be looking for a long. Bill thinks it's the big old booty that breaks the spirit. Well, that's 100% true. It's the spirit of Jezebel. Women carry a spirit of, men do too sometimes, the spirit of Jezebel. And it hypnotizes men and takes down many men. Warren Buffett said it himself, the 3 L's, ladies, liquor, and leverage, that will destroy men. And that's nothing new. Look at King David. Look at Samson, Solomon, all corrupted by women. What stocks are you buying? Right now, I'm not buying any stocks, but if I were to buy some more stocks, I'd be buying Nvidia and Tesla. Maybe some more GLD as well. Maybe the Qs, maybe the SPY. The long positions are getting stopped out. They were at break even, but damn. Oh, your stop loss? Your stop losses? I'm sorry to hear that, brother. What's up, Dr. Phil? Yeah, I think we might get this move up higher here, guys. We're getting some support. We're seeing higher lows. We're seeing higher lows, so it looks like it is trying to go higher. She's showing really good signs of life here. Is better than you. Yeah, buyers are stepping in now, looks like. You were in addiction for a long time? I was in addiction for a long time too, man. I think everybody on this live stream, whether they know it or not, were an addict at one point. An addict doesn't mean you have to be addicted to alcohol or drugs. Being an addict means you could be an addict to anger, an addict to pornography, an addict to lust, an addict to envy, an addict to pride, ego. You know, there's a lot of addictions that we don't even shed light on. And the devil will like to keep it that way, to think that we're perfect, to make us feel like, oh, no, we're not that bad. We're not as bad as that guy over there. See that guy that's sleeping on the street because he's addicted to crack? That's an addict. But me, I'm not an addict because I don't do crack. But meanwhile, like, you suffer with lust, or you suffer with self-indulgences and different things that are not good for you. So everybody's an addict. But thank you for bringing that. The Bible says we should confide in each other and confess to each other and then pray for each other. So if you need prayer, brother, addicted to cell phones, I am one of those. And that's an addiction I can tell myself I have to work on. Anthony Richards, God bless you, brother. We'll pray for you. We'll pray for you, Anthony. Anthony Richards. We'll pray for you today. May the Lord reveal himself in your life, Anthony. May you win that battle, that daily battle with addiction, and as well as all of us, in Jesus' name. I was an addict to alcohol, pornography, lust. Addict to work. So much an addict to work that I would not see my daughters for days at a time. There would be times where I wouldn't see them for days at a time because I'd leave before they were up, and I'd come home when they're already sleeping. I'm addicted to grinding and putting in the work, and every day, 1% better. Amen, Captain. That's good. Just make sure to put God first, brother. The Bible says, put the kingdom of God first, and then you'll inherit everything else you're looking for, brother. Yeah, so this is really funky. I'm glad that we have not taken any trades. I'm really glad we have not, because look at this, guys. Let's take a quick look at this. Chop number 1, chop number 2, chop number 3, chop number 4, chop number 5. Are we working on chop number 6 right now? Like, this is the VWAP chop I'm telling you guys about. It's very, very annoying. We need to break out of here. We need to get away from here. If we cannot get away from here, then it's going to be very hard to trade this. You know, this is just a recipe to get hurt. Addicted to money is a real thing too, yeah. When it's never enough. You know what? You know why? The dangerous thing about money is the following. The Bible doesn't say that money is the root of all evil. The Bible says that the love of money is the root of all evil. So yes, we could be addicted to it, and we can make it our God, believe it or not. Some people don't realize it. Like, oh, I don't worship false gods. There are a lot of Christians who think I don't worship false gods, but maybe you do. Maybe you hold money as your God without even knowing it. Consolidation. Yeah, this is definitely consolidation. This is the this is what they say, the bigger the base, the longer in space if it goes higher. But if it goes lower, then the opposite of space, what would the opposite of space that rhymes with base be? I don't know. Just lower. This could be a definite consolidation to go either higher, much lower quickly. Definitely high resistance price action so far in a Y session. Yeah, it is, right? It's pretty nasty. Oh, you're in a Bible study group? That's beautiful, Captain. Praise Jesus, man. That is beautiful. Yeah, I want to get deeper into my my church too. My church is about 40 minutes away from my house, and they do have men's groups. It's a little bit difficult for me to get there on a weekdays with, you know, all the other things I have to do with my daughters, but I do have to put the kingdom of God first. I used to go to a men's Bible group here in town. I'm not sure if they still get together, but I'm going to look to see if they do. Because even though I don't belong to that church, I'd still think they would welcome me. We tried to do a Bible study here with us, like meeting every, I think it was every Wednesday evening. But since we have people that are from so many different parts of the world and the country, it was hard for everyone to agree on a time. So I said, you know what, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it at a set time on a Wednesday. We're just going to implement the word of God into every one of our live streams. So that's what we've been doing. That's what we've been doing. And I like that a little better because we're all partaking. Because when we did do it at a set time, we'd have sometimes we didn't have anybody show up. Sometimes we had, 7 people show up, 6 people. But like right now we have 57 people on. So you get 57 people get to hear the word of God. So I think this is a good way to do it. Yeah. People who chase money will have it run through their hands like sand. That's a good analogy, Anthony. Definitely high resistance price. Laughter says, money is a great thing now that I am retired. My wages drop, but thanks to my stocks that pay dividends and trading, so I don't love money to help me survive in these inflationary times. Yeah, praise Jesus for that, Laughter. That is amazing. What state do I live in? I'm in Florida. I'm in Naples. What's up, Popeye? How are you doing, my brother? Popeye's another fellow Christian. He is a wonderful soul. All right, let's see what we're getting here, guys, because we're getting a lot of just, like you guys said, consolidation. But let's look at the bigger move, right? Let's zoom out to our 12-minute. We've got what looks like to be a very ugly bear flag. All right, that's more or less what it's looking like. Looks like bears might end up winning this battle after all, because we have bullets absorption followed by bears taking over. Another bullets absorption candle forming right now in the 12-minute. And this could be the next rollover. We'll see. I don't know. I can't call it. There's too much chop right now. Way too much chop. All right, let's see. We'll take a couple trades soon. This would have been a good little short. Just the fact that we're trading into the VWAP so it makes it dangerous. So let me give you guys an example of why this was a decent short. I mean, not that I would have taken it because I'm just calling it out in hindsight. Hindsight trader never loses. But we had bears absorbing followed by bears showing that they have dominance now in this area because they have a strong downward hammer candle here. So bears absorb buyers and then followed through. This gave us these two little high volume candles here. Now we're pulling right back up into this point of control. It's just hard to call. It's hard to call right now. Maybe they're putting in another trend line here. You're in Palm Harbor? Oh man, Palm Harbor. That's beautiful, brother. Love Florida, but job market is no good. I mean, you should have thought about the job market, man, before you became a doctor, brother. It's so hard to find a job as a doctor these days. Dr. Phil's actually a real doctor, and he's saying it's the tough job market. That's crazy. Dr. Phil, God has a plan for you, my man. God has a plan for you. I think Jesus was the greatest storyteller as I dive more into scripture. I think Jesus has had the best story, period. Right? I mean, look, guys, 2,000 years later, and he is the most famous person in this world. We need to make him more famous. Heard someone say that the ICT guy is a hindsight trader. Maybe, I don't know. The market busted me up today. Shaking my head, Sammy. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. Not worth it. God bless, you're right. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you can't do what you don't feel is morally right. You're going to use your skills as a doctor one day, brother, to help a lot of people who need, but not what you're currently thinking as what you did before. I think you're going to take your skills and help many people in impoverished countries. God has a plan for you, brother, and he hasn't prepared you for no reason. You know, you didn't go to school for as long as you did and paid as much as you did for school to have your gifts go unrealized. He has got a special plan for you. All right, looks like we are getting more nonsense here. Just more nonsense. More of this nonsense. Chop, 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 chop. How about them bears, guys? How about them bears? The bears. Oh, man. BTC is kind of still doing the same thing, too. Let's see what else is going on, man. Is there anything going on that's important right now? So apparently this guy wouldn't move his car. This guy wouldn't move his car, so the farmer moved the car for him. What did you think of that? That's pretty funny. He's probably living in his car because he had no shirt on. That's pretty funny. Yeah, while we wait for this market to do something. What do you guys think this girl was doing, man? I don't even know who is this girl.
Sweet mustache.
Who is this lady?
Oh, you'll be right. You're probably out of shot over there. Okay, everyone's ready to go. Hey, who wants to kick off?
Yeah, that's weird. Is she related to Hunter Biden? All right, we have looks like we're actually making this move higher here. Welcome to the channel. Oh, that's the Australian Prime Minister, is she? Louder powder. Oh man, I hope not. I hope she's okay. Welcome, Chamaro Rojas. Welcome to the channel, Chamaro. She was very evil during the COVID pandemic in New Zealand. Oh, is that what she's a New Zealander? Yeah, man, New Zealand had it rough, I heard. Many jobs here in Los Angeles for doctors. Yeah, I think he's done with the doctor thing. My goal is to make enough in this and open up a clinic for the homeless. Beautiful, brother, and God will help you with that. In Jesus' name, brother, you will do that. I love LA, but don't like the government. Yeah, I don't like the government in LA either. We are extremely busy here in West Los Angeles, Kaiser, as a CT Tech. Yeah, looks like we're getting a pump here. I don't know if we're making fun of people, Casey Rose. My intent wasn't to make fun of the lady on X. My intent wasn't to make fun of her. I just wanted to call out that a lot of government officials are corrupt. Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way, Casey. I wasn't trying to make fun of her. We'll pray for her. But it looks like she was not doing the right thing. When you're a government official, you're supposed to do not only what's right in public, but also in private. And the Bible does say we should expose evil. So I'm not trying to make fun of her, but I'm exposing evil. Is Trump good government? I mean, Trump has some issues in his own closet. No man in this world, no woman in this world is free of any sin. We're all sinners. Trump is not the second coming of Jesus. He is not. But I will tell you, it's better than what we had the last 4 years. You got to admit that someone who fights for our children's health, as far as mental health and reproductive health, a man who wants to see a lot of the evil that we had in this country be taken away, who wants to clean up our health system, who wants to clean up our food that we put in our bodies through Robert F. Kennedy. I'll take that any day of the week. Somebody who has some type of Christian morals, not like what we had before. Yeah. I mean, Dr. Phil can tell you better than anyone else that the doctors who have performed surgeries on those young children who are not old enough to, their minds are not developed enough to know what they actually want or need in their life, those are not doctors, those are butchers. Dr. Phil will tell you more about that. Absolutely. So did Saul from the Bible, Casey. I would urge you to read Acts in the Bible. And Saul used to persecute and murder Christians. And God used him. God used him to inspire the majority of the New Testament and to become a disciple for his kingdom. So God can use anyone. God can use you. God can use me. He can use Trump. He can use the most evil person in this world. He can use Klaus Schwab. He can use anyone. So I'm not saying that Trump is God sent, but I think that God has a hand in fixing what the wrongs of this country that we had the last 4 years. And it seems like now we're in a much better trajectory than we were under the last administration. But no man is perfect. Yeah. It's not up to us whether he's acceptable or not, because we're not meant to judge others. Like, you didn't hear me judge that lady, because there was someone on here earlier who said they were an addict. And it looks to me like she might be suffering with addiction too. She needs release. She needs prayer. I'm just pointing out the fact that these are our public officials. Like, these are the people who are controlling the world and who are making laws for people who are trying to provide for their families and do the right thing. He doesn't lie, steal, and cheat. Lies, all lies. Mini Badger says it doesn't belong to man to direct his own steps. God's kingdom is the only way, a solution to many problems. Yeah. I see what you're saying, Casey. There's a very fine line between criticizing people, which a lot of Christians do criticize others, because maybe someone shows up to the church with tattoos. And God doesn't care about your outward appearance. God cares about what you have inside. Give me a second here, guys. Yeah, no, thanks. I appreciate that, Anthony. I think that's why there is a separation between church and state. There you go. I want to use this as an opportunity to let's see what the market's doing here. We're dropping hard here, right out to the VWAP again. This looks like it's going to be the last manipulation, possibly, before taking this price higher. I think that's what we might be seeing here. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Ephesians 5:11. Ephesians 5:11 says, "Have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of the darkness, but rather expose them." That's all I'm saying. That's all. Not that I'm using the Bible to try to defend my comments about the lady. I genuinely wanted to know who she was because I wanted to know what part of government is she in. I thought she might have been in our government here, but now that you guys say New Zealand, yeah, New Zealand had it pretty bad during COVID, really bad. Lafta said the people that love the open border policy should keep their homes, cars, and unlocked at all times. They didn't like it too much when they when illegal immigrants were getting dropped off to Martha's Vineyard or to Kamala Harris's house. You know, a lot of them didn't like that too much. But that's the hypocrisy, you know. And keep in mind, illegal immigrants, man. Illegal immigrants. These are real people. Like, these are not like characters in a story. These are real people. So I'm not talking ill about illegal immigrants either, but at the same time, the mass amount of illegals that were being allowed into this country during the last administration is staggering, and our country can't handle that much. The resources we have cannot, in perpetuity, handle that type of immigration. Immigration needs to be reformed 100% because it's broken, and it's been broken for a long time. But there needs to be a better way to pick out and scout out the best possible candidates to allow into this country. So that way people don't have to cross over the border illegally. You know, crossing over the border, guys, and navigating the ocean to get to this country is one of the scariest things that anybody can go through. My family, when I was 3, almost 4 years old, we crossed the desert to get to this country when I was 4 years old. And we almost died, guys. Like, there's no lie. Like, I'm not even making this up. And I'm not for illegal immigration. I migrated to this country illegally, and I'm telling you why. Not only because obviously it's not right for this country's well-being, but also because of the dangers that people go through when crossing over the border. You got, I mean, now it's worse, but you've got the cartels who are kidnapping people, killing people. You got people who are being bitten by snakes and dying of heat exhaustion, drowning in rivers, drowning in the ocean. You got people who have been left in containers of trucks, box trucks, left in the heat in containers for days on end, and have been found, all of them dead. So that's why I think, like, not only does our immigration policy need to be reformed, but there's a lot of corruption that needs to be exposed. And that's what the Bible says, expose evil. There's a lot of evil that needs to be exposed in a lot of these Latin American countries that drives people to want to come here. So that's all I'm saying. So, I mean, listen, man, I think that immigration is a great thing when it's done right, but it's not being done right. It has never been done right here. Los Angeles and California run by nutcases, but I still enjoy my life here, just as did. Yeah, laughter. You can find peace anywhere, man. As long as you have Jesus in your heart, you have God in your life. Your household will be safe anywhere. Like you said, like Lot in Sodom and Gomorrah. He was in I guess the equivalent to what Miami or Los Angeles or New York City would be. Yeah, in New York, and living with that in a overpopulated city has been crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of people who were brought into New York, wasn't there? A lot of people, huh? Yeah, it's been crazy. Wow, guys. I mean, I'm very shocked at what's going on here. We've got such a chop of the VWAP, man, that it's literally it makes no sense right now what we're doing here. We're either gonna pump so hard or we're gonna dump so hard. One of the two. We're gonna do something special here. We're really gonna do something really special. So I think what I'm gonna do here. Is I'm going to erase. I'm going to erase something. Where is it though? Parallel channel? That's not what I'm looking for. Maybe it's down here. It's your fixed range. Yeah, maybe this right here. All right, I'm taking that fixed range off. I'm going to add a new fixed range here because we have a new fixed range. All right, ever since we got this drop, we've created this new fixed range. So that's what we've got. All right, cool. So we're going to have to start playing this range pretty soon because there's really not much going on here. Check out the ES Delta, only down. Market has no direction. Yeah, it's a green. Oh, green papaya is here. Good morning, brother. Hope everyone's doing good. Yeah, you too, man. Mr. Seller, best exit profit. What is your indicator? Why is the candles 3 different colors? There are actually a lot more than 3 different colors. We've got yellow, purple. Those are absorptions. Yellow are bullish absorptions. Purple are bearish absorptions. The pink candles are showing you high volume to the downside. The green candles are showing you high volume to the upside. Now we've got moderate volume too, which you can see here. Here's a moderate volume candle. This transparent one or black one here, this one is moderate volume to the downside, which is increased volume, but not as high as the pink ones. And then we've got some baby blue ones somewhere too. Let me show you baby blue ones if I can find one. Here's a baby blue one. This is increased volume, but not as high as the green ones. The green ones are very high volume. These are elevated volume, but not as high as these. So this kind of tells you where the volume is. It shows you where the market makers, where they're leaving their tracks. And then you get to see absorption and order flow. When you see the pink candle, when you see the purple candles and yellow candles, it tells you who's trying to take control. So I use those for entries. Because it tells me like here, sellers are absorbing, then sellers actually confirm that they're controlling that market. This could have been a beautiful short. We would have got all this in there. I didn't take that this morning though. I did take one before that. I took a long here and it worked out. Right now we're just seeing a whole lot of chop. And if you want to learn more about it, Mr. Seller, just go to the description of this video and it'll show you where to get the indicators, and it'll also show you a video on the strategy that I use to trade these absorption candles. Yeah, how is Hawaii doing today, Papaya? How's work too, man? Are you busy in construction right now? I saw a video on Hawaii the other day on Oahu. Really good video on how life has changed in Oahu. Are we going back to 20,900? What's up, Jamie? Maybe. It looks like she wants to maybe pop higher here, but we don't know. She's been chopping this VWAP the last, I don't even know how long. How long has she been chopping this VWAP? Let's see. We can count this, I guess. She's been chopping this VWAP for 81 bars, almost an hour and a half. This was a nice move to the upside, though, so I don't know if I can count that, but at least an hour here. Right now, it looks like we're getting a move higher. Very nice. Might actually like this long. No worries. My name is, you can call me Smooth, Mr. Seller. Unless you want to call me Mr. Trader, that's fine too. It's dumping rain today. Yeah, we got a little rain today too, but we needed it. It's been so dry here. You know what's funny is we haven't gotten rain. We haven't gotten rain here in like many weeks. And yesterday I washed my sneakers and I put them outside to dry. And I woke up today and they were completely soaked. I'm like, the day I decide to wash my sneakers, I put them outside and we get rain. We're getting this pop here probably. I think we're gonna get this pop here. I'm gonna try the long, guys. All right, I'm gonna try the long here. And I'm gonna thinking about taking it to right here, limit. All right, I could be wrong here. I could get stopped because we did have a lot of, obviously, no direction. Oh yeah, we're getting stopped here. All right, small one though. Small one. No biggie. We might get to move higher now. Yeah, looks like we might have just swept there before going higher. Yeah, that's why I say no trades here, and then I take one, and this happens. It's swept, and now it's going to go higher. I think she will go higher here. We'll see. Get some patience. You have to at their name. You have to type in the at, and then type in their name, and then you can respond directly to them. Green papaya. Wow, what a chop we're getting. First time on your channel, got subbed after seeing you in another stream. Can't remember which one. Oh, yeah, I visited some other streamers' streams. I was on Pine Tree stream the other day. I said hello to him. I've been on Ram stream. I'm pretty quiet on the other ones because they're too noisy. There's too much going on. What's up, Paul? How you been, brother? Thank you for being here, Coach Fred. And there you go. Oh, it didn't highlight? It only highlights if you at me. All right, we might get in this push down here. Wow, we're getting this move down here. Yeah, I think I may want to try this short. Sellers are coming in pretty strong. If this candle turns pink, I'm going to stay away from it. Wait for it to get reclaimed. 130 up from the retest of 1056 candle and took 10 points. Beautiful, brother. I inspired you to reduce your RR. I think I did that to my other buddy too. And believe me, I was the last one to want to do that. But I found that there's much more success in your P&L, not just like your win rate, but also your P&L when you do that. Market tends to not always want to rally when you want it to. It rallies when you don't expect it. So you might as well take your 1-to-1 RR or smaller RR. There you go. See? Green papaya. It was pine. Yeah, cool, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Pine was here this morning. Green papaya, it worked. You added me and it highlighted. It only highlights when you add the person who's the host, but you can add anyone you want. But it's not going to highlight the name, but they'll know you're talking to them. All right, man, this is such tough price action right now. I do like the shorts. Here. We had the bearish absorption followed by a high volume candle to the downside. We've already cleaned this candle up pretty quickly. The short might be a good call here, but we are at the bottom of the value area low. So not a place where I'd like to get short from unless we end up losing this whole area, then that's different. Right now we still have the VWAP here, so we can get price sucked right back in. Just be careful. I'm still gonna wait. We got 49 likes already, guys. At 75, we'll do our first giveaway. I already got the invoice here from Bulenox for another 5-pack, so we might as well go ahead and pay for this now. Okay. All right, we just paid for 5 more evals, guys. So let's go ahead and hit the like so we can start to see if somebody can win it today. All right, we're good to go. Oh, it's showing up as highlighted here on my end, brother. You know what I think it is? Green papaya. It only shows highlighted for the person that you're commenting to, I think. Can you guys see my name highlighted in orange in the chat, or am I the only one that sees that? Really, Laughter? You still go over there and check them out even though they try to play you? Yeah, man, they're not really thinking about big picture over there. I think whatever politics Michael Patak has, I think everyone else there by default has. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, look at this price action, man. I'm telling you guys, he's just chopping here the value area, chopping the value area. What's up, DJ Toka? This price action is crazy. Yeah, it is, man. It's better to stay away. I tried one little trade in here and I was completely wrong. Only me, huh? Yeah. So Mo, when he put at Mo Lester, did you see it highlighted in orange? Okay, so the person sees it. I thought everyone saw it, but the person who you're talking to, they'll see it highlighted. I can't believe we have 87 people watching this complete nasty chop. That's pretty intense. Thank you guys for being here, even though there's not much going on. It's only people you choose. Okay, that makes sense. So we have two VWAPs here. I want to explain to you guys real quick. We have this dotted line that's plotted here. This is the 100 period VWAP, that green dotted, these little dots in here. And then we have the regular VWAP here that's this neon green line. And they both just kind of merged. That's not a great thing. When you have price concentrated so much at the mean, this is very terrible price action to be trading this. So I wanted to escape the value areas right now. I wanted to get above, these 820s, and I wanted to get below these 760s. Take care, Anthony. Be good, brother. Here, I'm gonna highlight you, green papaya, so you can see it. Okay. Do you see your name highlighted? Yeah, I'm on a 1 minute, Erica. I'm on the 1 minute right now. Getting rejected here from the VWAP again. Yeah, shorts are looking all right. Shorts are looking okay. I'm going to try the short here, guys. I don't know if this is a good trade. I mean, it looks pretty good. Can you guys see my screen? Yeah. I don't know if this is a good trade or this is me just getting impatient, but it looks like a good trade because I saw the formula that I look for. See the absorption. I see them covering their tracks. I see the follow through by the sellers. I see them wanting to break the value area low. So we'll see if we can get this quick hit here. And mine didn't show up, really? What is your thoughts about my trade? I'm still short and holding my position 5 micro since 9 this morning. Well, I'm short right now. All I can tell you is I'm short. And the market can do anything. But I would tell you that if you start seeing price action change structure, if you start seeing price actions change structure and get above 845, be careful. If we get above 845, 850, be careful because she might be looking for higher prices. I'm gonna use the restroom, guys. I'll be right back. Oh, that's a deer in the backyard. Virtually nothing has changed. That's hilarious. All right, see if we can get this. Oh, actually, you know what? I can't because if I go to the bathroom and then we end up pumping, I'll get entered into another trade here because this is not a bracket order. Nasty price action here. Super nasty. Yeah, we broke below the value area low just momentarily. I'd like to see us get down there, but it looks like we're about to pop here and lose this trade. Yeah, it looks like we're losing this trade here. Jesus. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get stopped. We got stopped, right? Okay. Very nice, NQ. Very nice. Her dirty work. NQ's dirty work. Your dirty work, NQ. Alright, guys, I'll be right back. Mandy and Fatty. Maddie and Fatty. Welcome to the channel, guys. Welcome to the channel. Yeah. Figured that would happen. Came to stop us out and then go. Yeah, welcome to the stream. How long you been trading, Madi? Wow, look at this price action. This is stuff that this is kind of stuff that you don't want to see. This is horrible. Really bad. Really bad price action. This is terrible price action. Look at this price action. This is crazy. Yeah, she's doing everything the opposite of what you think. Well, at least to me. Be careful here, guys. Yeah, now she's pumping. Maybe we make it here to the top of the range again. I caught your stream for the first time doing Globex. Do you sleep at all? Yeah, I do. I was here last night between 6 and 10. And slept, and now we're back here for a couple hours. I actually have to go around 1 today, I think. Let's see. Today... Yeah, I have to leave at 12:45 today. So let's see if we can get those likes up to 75. We got 55 right now. We need 20 more. Yeah, we had a lot of viewers last night. We had almost 1,700, over 1,700 viewers. Praise God, man. That's a record for us. Thank you for being part of it, Tom G. I really wish I could hit a couple more trades, man, but I do have strict rules about over trading here in the VWAP. I took 2 that looked perfect, and they both did not work out because the VWAP kind of distorts everything. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. Man, this is nuts. Yeah, watch the value area high up here around the 820s. Yeah, watch the retest here of the 780s. Oh, the liberals are pro-gun now in your neck of the woods there, Lafta? They've had enough? Nothing's better than the armor of Christ, though, man. I'll tell you that. You need that first of all. First and foremost. Oh, man, we're about to get a pop here. Up to the 820s. Watch this pop up to the 820s, possibly. Ephesians 6:10 says, "Finally be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes," guys. Full armor of God. And that means prayer, belief, reading the scripture, reading the gospel. Nothing too crazy. You don't have to go to any type of self-defense class. All right, let's see what we get here. Starting to get another pullback. I would not be surprised if we get our 10th tap of the trend of the VWAP. It looks really crazy. This price action looks very crazy. It's about to be almost 1 o'clock here when I have to go by 1. And she's been spending most of her morning here. This is really bad. My TP is at 820. Good job, Popeye. Tom G, yeah, we're pretty much full time here. Other than me having to do some stuff, as a husband and as a father, I got to go pick up my girls. I got to do stuff with my wife sometimes. But I'm trading, most mornings with you guys here. So most mornings from like 9:15 till about whatever time I have to go in the afternoon. Sometimes 1, 2:30, depends. Yeah, you're welcome to be here with us, man. Welcome to be here. All right, we're getting a move to the high of that value area now. That 820 level is looking pretty good. 9 to 5, that's you, Tom? Yeah, 9 to 5 is a lot of hours to put in front of the screen. Yeah, I know what Lutfish Savage goes through, man. I owned a house in Jersey that backed up to the woods, and we used to have deer all the time, man. It's so beautiful to watch the deer in your backyard. It's funny because my dog, at the time, she used to bark at them in the beginning, but then she was kind of like made friends with them. It's crazy. They were more scared of the little tiny dog, like the little wiener dog. They were more scared of the wiener dog than the wiener dog was of them. Oh, thanks, Tom G. I appreciate that. Can you go over the main rules for TopStep funding? How is it different from other firms? Oh, look, you're in luck, brother. I have a video on that. Here you go, Anatoly. That video explains to you, breaks down TopStep's rules, okay? And you'll really enjoy it. It took a long time to make that video. I was trying to be as detailed as possible. All right, we're getting a little push here. This area is probably going to get supported. If it wants to go higher, this area will probably get supported. The reason why I say that is because we had a bearish absorption followed by bulls taking over. And since then, we did hold it once here. We'll see if it'll hold. 820 is looking pretty juicy for the market. 815 to 820. But the market has been doing the complete opposite of what it looks like, this whole range. Come on, baby girl. What are we doing here? Let's get away from this evil VWAP. You don't need to be here. You're too good for the VWAP. Let's go back into the 900s or something. Let's just get away from here. Let's take a look at the higher time frame and see what she's actually, kind of structure she's putting in here. All right, so we no longer need this here. Yeah, this is no longer necessary. Yeah, it's hard to say which way she's going to go. We do have these imbalances up here that she may want to come back and clean up. But we also have these imbalances down here that she may want to clean up. So it's hard to say which way she'll go. We're at 808. Looks like she's making a run for the higher numbers here at 820 possibly. We get moose here too. Come to think of it, nearly every other North American animal too, from weasels to bears. Yeah, we used to get foxes, bears. We used to get deer, obviously. I heard some of my neighbors said they used to get wild turkeys. All types of little critters. Believe it, here in Florida and in parts of Naples, people get panthers, cougars, black bear. Yeah, some pretty scary animals. Not to mention some people get gators. So this is a whole nother level to the wild animals in the yards here. Coyotes? Oh yeah, you guys get coyotes, right? You guys probably get, in some places you guys get those scorpions too. Wild turkeys woke me up this morning, says Popeye. Yeah, I'd take a turkey over skunks for sure. Vic's long right now. I was surprised when it finally realized that I have bear in Florida. Yeah. Yeah, we have bear, man. We do have bears. We even have bear crossing signs in some places. Cougar crossing signs. And I'm not talking about the older ladies. I'm talking about the real cougars. Scorpions are more like Nevada, right? That's like more like Nevada, Arizona. Centipedes and wild chickens. Oh man, green papaya. I hate centipedes. Those things are ugly. Who remembers the centipede that they killed in Predator? When the guys are in the jungle. The guy stabbed them with like a knife, and the centipede was like this thick. It was like the size of a rat. What's up, Drago? Ugly centipedes, huh? No gators here in Alberta, but we do have coyotes, wolves, grizzlies. Yeah, grizzlies can be pretty menacing, right? I saw a guy kick out a bear out of his party, literally talking to the bear and said, "Get out, you're not invited." And the bear scratched him and then left, like walked out, like if it was an uninvited guest. I don't know if you guys saw that video. I don't know if I showed you that video. I think I showed you that video, guys. There was a bear at a party, and the guy kicked the bear out like he was an uninvited guest. Yeah, the lungs are looking pretty good. Oh, good job, Popeye. We got it. You guys got it. Looks like you got it, Popeye. Good job, Popeye. Congratulations. Let's show Popeye some. Popeye is I am what I am, by the way, guys. In case you guys are confused about like who's Popeye. We got 60 likes. If you guys want to get a free eval, let's get it up to 75. I won't mention it again. You guys probably don't want to give the channel a like. I get it. All right, so we are making this move up. I'm glad because I want to get out of this area so bad. Like, definitely, we need to get away from here. And we start taking some trades now. Yeah, we are at the top of the range, so this is going to take a pretty strong move to get out of here. Let's see if we've got a trend line working out here. We've got a trend line here, so it might be pretty safe to say that we can get up to 860, 870 here. Oh, it was a scorpion. Yeah, it was a scorpion, not a centipede. It was a scorpion they killed in a predator. Yeah, I thought it was a centipede. Never mind. It was a scorpion. Yeah. Yeah, it was a great movie too. All right, so we got a little bit here. There we go. We cleaned up the candle already. I was going to say we have a little bit of a manipulation candle here, so this is probably going to get cleaned up soon. And it looks like we just did. Laughter's green on corn and oil. Ah, that's good, man. All right, we got the manipulation move back down here. I'm still watching this level here. It's also the point of control. It's also the point of control. So I'm watching this area here at 790. Possible reversal. What, you took the long, Mo? A lot of Canadians on this channel, man. Oh, you were trying to spook Lou? Oh, yeah. I figured you were probably talking to him. All right, we've cleaned up both of these candles now. She has full permission to continue going higher if that's what she wants here. I don't know if she's going to make it that clean of a move, but she should after all of this. She should do something clean after all that dirtiness. The wicks are to the downside, so it looks pretty good. We're going to take a trade here soon, guys. Don't you fret. As long as we're away from that VWAP. Could have actually taken two good ones here, but we're too close to this VWAP to believe her. Did Bulenox just announce 91% off their code again? Let me take a quick look. Look at that, guys. We got 91% off. Let me go ahead and change that. Thank you for the heads up, man. Thank you for the heads up. All right, guys, I just updated the coupon code for Bulenox. They are back to 91% off. So if anybody needs an evaluation, it'll cost you $15. That is really good. If anybody wants end of day drawdown, that would be Smooth Trader 45. If you want the regular trailing drawdown, 91% off. Coupon code is just Smooth Trader. Yeah, thank you for that. Yoji, I don't know how to say the rest of your name, but I'm just call you Yoji. Thank you for that, brother. Thank you for your show. I'm still have a question. Can you explain about the Webull platform and futures trading when it comes to personal account and commissions, etc.? Yeah, sure. Well, I like Webull. I definitely like Webull as my live trading broker for a couple of different reasons. The margin requirements are very low, so you don't need a lot of money to trade with them. So if you put 500 bucks in, you can trade micros. I'm not to say it's an ideal amount. I'm just giving you an example of what I recently did is put 500 bucks in. And I was able to trade micros, no problem. We've got that account up now where I can trade minis. I could trade a mini there with over anything over. Oh man, I should have taken that long. I could take a mini trade there with anything over $1,000. If I have, I think 1,000 to 1,100 bucks, I could take mini trades. So I like them. Plus, I also like the fact that I can transfer money between my futures account to my options account to my long-term portfolio account. So I like it because it allows me to be more maneuverable when it comes to that. I want to take this long really bad here, and I missed it because I was looking at the chat. I currently have Bulenox master accounts. Now to actually get to pass so far for no luck. I'm sorry to hear that, Tom G. You'll get it, brother. Just stick with it. Man, I like these longs, man. I missed the long here. I really want to take this darn long. Congratulations, anyone long here. Congratulations, anyone long here. I wanted to take this long after this candle. I didn't see it. I didn't catch it. I might put in an order still. Let's see, 822. I might put an 822 order. Maybe we can get lucky. See if we can get 822 test. Maybe an 822 test. If it really wants to get crazy, maybe she'll dump down to 800. I don't know. But I think 822 might be a good area here. Oh, Drago the Kid, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. I'll show you some love here in the chat. Good job, man. Drago is up 453 on the day. Take your mom-in-law to Sam's Club. Can't do lawns today with all this rain, soggy and wet grass. Yeah, it's not recommended to cut grass on a rainy day. You'll clog up your machines. Right, we might get a move down here. All right, looking pretty weak here. All right, might want to take the short. Depends if this turns pink. If this turns pink here, then I'm definitely looking for the long instead. I don't know. Now she's looking kind of this candle looks pretty bullish. What do we got here? All right, there's a case to be made here for shorts, but there's also a case to be made here for longs because we did have bullish absorption here. So this could act as support here, this 820 area. But I also see that sellers are trying to take over this location. So we might get a little push maybe even further past the 820s, possibly maybe even into the 790s. So I'm starting to like the shorts here, just a tiny bit better. I might end up taking a short here. She keeps closing up with these bullish looking candles though. Yeah, she keeps closing with these bullish looking candles. I don't know what she may want to do here. it looks like she still wants higher prices. Or does she? All right, guys, we're starting to see a little bit of a mixed bag here. We have the sellers absorbing the buy pressure, and then we have now buyers starting to absorb sell pressure. We do need a little bit of a pullback. The market doesn't like when too many people are in profits. It looks like that's what we're getting here. Yeah, this area here, 823. I had an order at 822. Let's see if this holds, or if we start getting some bullish action here. This looks pretty. This looks pretty organic, though. This move down looks pretty organic, and doesn't look manipulated. There she goes. This candle might turn bright pink here now, but as of right now, it's a regular candle. Let's see if we get a pop here back into higher prices. That's kind of what I was thinking that she may do. Yeah, sellers did encounter some buying pressure here. What would be its target here? Rejection from the higher prices at 830, 840, maybe back into the VWAP. Not sure. Not sure. I mean, we still have the 790 level here that I was looking at. It's a point of control also. Sellers are present for sure. Look at that rejection. Yeah, watch it move back into the 830s. That could, if they want lower prices, they may want to come here to sweep. They might come back up here to sweep and then drop it if they want to go lower. But if they want higher prices, which they could, because this is where that move originated from, this could be going to higher. Which I think is possible. 120, 116. Let's see here. Looks pretty strong. All right, this is make or break time here. If we can get past this level, then she's going for the trend line. That's what I'm kind of thinking. But if she can't get above here, then we're going back down. Yeah, I'm going to be trading in a 1 minute. Need 12 more likes? Yeah, we do. We just need a couple more likes, guys. I got to leave in the next 15 minutes, so let's see if we can get it. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, bulls are looking stronger here, so this could have been a retracement back to grab the liquidity here for that higher 860s, 870s. Okay. Yeah, she looks mighty strong here. Yeah, she's not looking like she's slowing up at all. Moves here look pretty strong. Okay. Let's see if that changes now. That didn't end too well, huh? Did it? Let's see what happens on the next candle here. We start seeing some absorption maybe. They're still trying. They're still trying here. Try to be patient here. See what the market may want to do at this 835 level. Right now we see this yellow candle represents buyers absorbing sell pressure. If this closes out with a red candle after here, that means that sellers have taken control. If this closes out with a green candle after this, that means that we're going to get higher prices. More than likely. So I'm going to see what we get here and take a trade then. As of right now, the bulls look like they're stronger, but that could change. Oh, the sun's out. Nice. Yeah, we say buyers want to get involved here again. I think I'm going to try the long. I think I'm going to try the long here. All right, so let's see what we get here. We've got about 5 points of damage. Let's see if we can make it to, where are we here? See if we get this follow through. If we don't get this follow through, it's fine. We'll try again something else. Market's not moving, says Darryl. Those candles are if you want to know about this indicator, Tom G, down below in the description, it says my strategy, and then it has the indicator links underneath it. You can check it out there, or you can go to our Discord channel under our, you can go to our Discord page, and then under the channels that says my indicators, you can see there, and it also breaks it down for you. Okay, but I think the easiest way for you is just look at the description of this video, and you'll see a tutorial for the trading strategy with the candle colors, and you're also going to see where to get them. All right, we got that. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm trading the 1 minutes. That trade was so clean, it did my laundry. Mo, you're hilarious. You're hilarious, brother. Simple trade. Let me show you guys the thesis behind that trade. All right, I can pretty much tell you that the market's reaching for this trend line. That we know, but we don't know what kind of path she's going to take. Is she going to do a straight up path, which means that, you know, obviously very rare that she does a move like this, and then like that. You know, it's probably not going to happen just like that. So what I'm thinking is that since we saw this combination right here, this yellow candle followed by a green candle, this means that bulls are absorbing sell pressure. What I mean by sell pressure is that we have negative delta down here, and we have a yellow candle, which means that they're absorbing sellers. They're strong right now. Next candle showed me that they're still strong. The buyers are still strong because they took control of the next candle. We're trying to break through this high. So a 5-point stop underneath this yellow candle with a 7 or 8 point TP up here up to 843 was a good 1-to-1 RR. Now we're getting a move back down. So if they don't hold this area, since this is where the buying absorption started, if they can't hold this area, that means that the next stop's most likely going to be the value area high. But remember, we have that trend line that she wants to get to, so I think that's where she wants to go. Where is our... trying to update this. I wish this was automatically update. Okay. So it looks like they are protecting the wick here. Looks like they are protecting it. To see where it goes. If it does protect this wick, then we'll see another move higher. If they lose the wick here, then we're going to test this value area high. And then after that, we might actually even go down to 790, possibly there. Chances are we might see a little bit higher prices though. Oh man, they're pumping. They're pumping. They're holding. This is what you call pumperoni and cheese. Right here, this candle is very pumpy. She might turn green. If she turns bright green, then we're gonna have to wait. Yeah, she turned bright green. Let's watch for the retracement of this candle, possibly. And then a good long entry would probably be down here for me. What's the ATR now? ATR now is at 8. And went from 20 to 8. We know she wants that 860 level. We know she's pretty much telegraphing it. Looks like they're not going to clean up this candle right now. Looks like they're going to go for the 860 first. It's possible that they are. Watch this area right here. Possible dump into this area would be nice. It looks like she's off to the races. Doesn't look like she's going to give us that opportunity now. Buyers are absorbing sellers right now. That's what it looks like. Sellers are getting strong. Uh-oh. Mm-hmm. This might explode to the upside here. Watch this here. Hold on a second, guys. I think the garbage people are here. One sec. Let me call my dad real quick. All right. We did get that little pop here, huh? Yeah, looks like she's going to stair step her way up here to 860. All right. Yeah. Yeah, guys, it looks like she's getting up there. It looks like she's getting up there. Yeah, I appreciate you guys being here, man. We just missed our light count. Maybe we can get it tomorrow. I do have to go. I'm going to say a quick prayer for you guys before I take off here. Dear Lord, Father, we thank you for today, Father. We ask you, Father, to forgive our sins, Lord, and cast it into the sea. And start and make us new, Father, new creatures and new people in Jesus Christ, Father. Father, I ask for forgiveness if I've done anything wrong, or the people that are in this stream today have done anything wrong, which we do not even realize, Father. As you know that we are sinners, we are imperfect. The only perfect being here that ever lived, Father, is Jesus. And in Jesus' name we pray, Father, that you forgive us and you listen to us today, Father, and you take our prayers into consideration, Father. Lord, we ask you to turn us into disciples and to turn our struggles into testimonies, Father. I pray for Anthony Richards, Father, who has overcome addiction with your guidance, Father. Allow him to become a disciple, Father, and tell people the story that has changed his life, Father. And only with your power is he able to make that change in his life, Lord. And I also pray for anyone on this call who suffers with addiction, whether they know it or not. I pray that any evil spirit that's in their life, Father, be cast into a lake of fire, Father. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Wow, we got that pumped to 860, didn't we? All right, guys, I got to go. I will see you guys mañana. Take care, brother. Jesus loves you.